Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Let's talk a little bit of 49er football. If you stick around, you might hear one of my dad jokes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for coming. So sorry we were late. There was a technical difficulty here or there. You know, when you go and get your car fixed, they say, what's wrong with it? And you tell them, oh, it's making this sound or that sound. And mechanic gets in, does the diagnostic. And you know what? It's always usually the nut behind the wheel. I tell you what. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to drop the link so anybody who would like to come on in can come on in. We will keep it cordial today and peaceful. It's Saturday morning. We want to have good vibes. Hopefully, you all brought your coffee because that's what we're here to do. Talk a little football, 49er football, and we're going to talk a little bit. We can always go to a different team for a few minutes if we want, but we're here because we're Niner fans. We're the faithful, and again, hope you brought your cup of coffee. And if you like talking to other football teams, we can do that. We want to just keep it all copacetic, keep it all good vibes here. So again, let's drop the vibes, keep the vibe up, and let's drop the link. See what's going to happen. I have a good show for everybody today. We're going to go ahead and go over the schedule. And as we're talking, we'll tell a couple jokes as well. So let's start up. Had a great turnout so far. Again, I'm sorry I made you all wait, but if you're waiting, you're waiting for something good. So they don't want to keep you waiting too long, but you gotta keep the patient. That's what we all are here for, right? So first in the door is my guy Jeff. Jeff is one of those guys. He's a true faithful, and he says, "Hey, bro, I wrote a rap." And if you know anything about Jeff, he writes, I would say more of epic poems, but he raps, and he does a really good job with it, and he keeps it very educational, straight to the point. There's a lot of terms that he throws out there that if you listen for, you can learn a lot just by listening to the guy talk. So he says, "Hey, bro, wrote a rap about you and Josue and the D Malay. Hopefully, I could recite it to you one time. That might be fun." And then I got John, the ultimate 49er report. Sup, everyone? Let's talk 49er. Have some coffee. Yes. And we got No Border Sports missing in action last night, but hopefully he had some action. I'm glad to see you're around. He says coffee tastes bad. Well, it depends on how you drink it. Then is it milk or beer? So there's this big conspiracy. You're not supposed to drink any kind of milk from an animal. And if that's true, then I guess we've been doing it wrong for this whole time. But they said the only type of milk, a baby should drink is, from its mother. So there's some people they swear by almond milk and they go off of different tangibles. I went to a point where I started drinking my coffee black, and I started enjoying it. But every once in a while, I like to get it a little sweet, and I like to say I like my women like my coffee, blonde and sweet, But mine goes a little bit darker. So I got like more of a strawberry tint to it. So if you ever seen Tony, you'll know what I'm talking about. Tony's interesting. She's my wife, and what's really really neat is when I see her throughout the year, her hair changes colors and it changes colors by the season. And I never thought that was really, I never really thought of it. And then I seeing it, I was like, that's something neat. And then I started noticing on my face, like during the summertime, my face will get more red. Well, not the skin, but the beard will get more red on. And then as the winter comes around, my face and my hair starts to go darker brown. I used to be a blondie. But anyway, so we'll go back into that. Milk, water or beer. Everybody needs water. Beer is one of those things. If you drink too much beer, you're going to pay for it. But if you don't drink enough beer, then you'll miss it. But you shouldn't drink too much beer or anything of anything really. And we got John saying hey. We got Ryan saying hey. We got Bebop. Bebop is one of those guys, a true faithful. He really is. He's very knowledgeable about the team. He's everywhere. He supports everybody's chats. And if you get an opportunity to meet Bebop or talk to him, he might talk to you a little bit about disc golf. And it's interesting because it's a small world. So then let's go to the rest of our comments. We'll go through these really quickly, and we're going to bring in our guys. I got Corey sitting here for a second. I'll let him sit for just a second. We got Tony coming in. saying, hey, telling everybody about our problems. We do have problems, but if you have more money, then what happens? You have more problems too, right? So then we're going down the stream. Let's go. Yep, we got Bebop saying hello to everybody, and let's go. We got Raphael 5629ers. He is the GOAT. I'm telling you. I see this guy everywhere. He's been my friend for a while. Friend through the comments and stuff. He's 100% true red and gold. We got Platform coming in 246. Everybody, please check out Platform 246. Lawrence, he's a great guy. He streams all kinds of stuff. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a show together with his boys, and my wife Tony's going to be jumping in, so it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's go down here to the bottom. Yep. And Raphael says he drinks coffee once in a blue moon. Hey, if you drink it around blue moon, that's okay. Sometimes coffee makes you, get up and move around and you're all stimulated, and sometimes it doesn't do anything to you. So it depends on the type of person you are. I started drinking coffee at night, and I was enjoying it. I would go to sleep, drink a coffee, and wake up in the morning, not have to drink anything. So I found if I drank coffee in the morning, I'd have too much on my belly, and it just didn't sit with me well. Oh, and then we got CarCast coming in at the end, pulling up. So thank you very much. Now let's get to Davis.
Hello. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Hey, tell Tony I said Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, she might pop in here in a moment or two. I'm trying to get her to come in, but yeah, tomorrow it is Mother's Day. We're gonna do probably a short show in the morning. We'll talk to Lawrence and his boys hopefully, and keep it all cordial. But it's gonna be one of those shows. It won't necessarily be all Niner talk. It'll be a little bit more or less. We're going to talk Niners and then a little life and tell everybody Happy Mother's Day. Let's bring in Ryan real quick, and then we're going to get into this.
Hello.
What's up, Ryan?
What up?
Glad to see you're alive and kicking. We were sending out search warnings, sending out smoke signals. We were typing in different chats and amongst each other. Have you heard from No Borders? And we found out that there is a borders. There are borders. So we're glad you're here. And I'm going to bring in David McNiner and John J. And I think that will probably be our panel unless anybody else comes in later. But we're going to jump into this.
Hello, David.
What up? What up, guys?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I'm going to bring in John J. real quick so we can continue on. And we're going to have a good Saturday morning talk.
Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
So there's been a lot of good news that's come out. A lot of good news. And I think the best way to start it out is, I know you guys have briefly said it. You guys are saying it a little bit on Corey's show. We're not going to write it down. We're not going to hold receipts. We're just going to have fun. But I'm going to start it out. The 49ers record, my early season prediction. And if this sounds homer, that's okay. I'm saying 15-2 or better. That's my thoughts on the season. Ooh. So we're gonna pass. We're gonna pass.
Spicy.
I want to hear what you got. Tell me your thoughts on the record prediction. It can change throughout the year. Again, I'm gonna write it down because I want to have fun. But we're not gonna call anybody out on it. We're just having fun. But I think 15-2. I'm that confident in this team.
Corey?
I'm honestly thinking it's like a 12-14 win team. It just depends on QB play.
All right, so David's at 12-14, right? So wait, no. What's your official? What are you going to go 12-4? Is that what you're saying?
That's what he's saying. He's saying 12-14.
12 and 5.
I said 14-3. I said 14-3 on Corey's stream the other night, so I'm going to stick with that. But
14-3. Okay. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm going to go with 13-4.
13-4. Okay. John, what do you say?
I'm going to go also with 13-4.
13-4. Okay. And then we'll come to Corey when he's ready. So I think we have a very fun schedule. We do travel. Go ahead, Corey.
I'm ready. 14-3, I say.
You were supposed to go first, Corey.
I know, but I wasn't ready. I didn't have my sheet. I had to look at my notes while I wrote down.
Oh, you don't know it in your heart? Oh, Corey. You don't know it in your heart. You got to write it down.
And, I didn't know Brian going to say Corey first, or usually he say our name and we go first. I didn't want to jump the gun.
Uh-huh. No worries. So to
got a book of excuses too? I'm joking.
So with that, we'll segue to our first dad joke. I'm going to put it down at the bottom of the banner. I'll read it out as well. How many Detroit Lions does it take to change a tire? 1, unless it's a blowout. In which case, the whole team shows up.
Oh.
So we're going to let that sit there and settle for everybody for a few minutes as we continue our show.
Ooh, shots fired.
So everybody's really, really excited about the Lions, and they're counting the Packers and the Vikings already. And I don't know if Kurt likes that, and there's no love for Green Bay. So I guess I'm really I don't know about these Lions. I think they're going to be the same old Lions they are every year. So
well, I think they have a lot. Like their head coach is pretty good, and they're trying to actually put something together. But when it comes to Detroit, it's always Detroit. They always these guys are going to be good this year, and then all of a sudden they just fizzle out and they're not. When it comes to the Vikings, I honestly think they got lucky last year. I mean, I don't think they're as good of a team as their record reflected. They got blown out by the Giants at home in the playoffs. Well, not blown out, but beat. And then you got the Packers and the big question mark of Jordan Love, and I honestly watched the kid play in college. He threw a lot of picks. He made a lot of mistakes, but he's been there for 3 seasons now. So
I think Jordan Love is a pause like a comma. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly it. Is their whole season hinges on what is this kid gonna do?
Yeah.
So the Packers are a question mark. The Vikings aren't as good as they were last year. They're going to show that they're not that good of a team. When it comes to the Bears, we know this content creator, and he's picking them to win 11 plus games again. He did that last season, and they won 3. So but they're rebuilding. They have a lot of young players. They did put some more weapons around the Ohio State quarterback, which is the 18th Ohio State quarterback to be taken in the NFL, and none of them have done anything yet. I'm not just saying, I'm saying. So I don't see the Bears, I see the Bears being like 6 to 7 win team, with the improvements they've made. I just don't see the Packers are the big question mark. What are they going to do?
I'm a little bit, more, I don't know, excited about the Packers because it's like a new era. You don't know what's going to necessarily happen there. The Bears, I can't tell you how they're going to react because I don't think any one of us here thought the Bears were going to beat us last year opening, week. So the Bears could be crazy scary if they can get it together, but they're still the Bears. So I would say the Lions and the Bears are still them. The Vikings are going to be, I think, competitors. They're going to be a decent team, but when they get to the playoffs, they fall apart. And I think maybe it's because they have Kirk Cousins. He just can't play on primetime games. So I'm very excited. But let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm pulling up my banners, and we're gonna go from there. So we're playing some teams this year, and we're starting out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I put these pictures together with my wife, my lovely wife. So we're gonna just throw these OAs over, and we're gonna talk a little bit. So this is going to be like the first time the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing at home since 2014. They do usually win at home, but this is the first time they're actually playing at home since 2014. So the Niners coming in, this could be a game we could win, or this could be a game we very well could lose, just because like the home field advantage, the hype of it, and everything. The one thing I do have to say is this is probably rookie quarterback versus rookie quarterback, or limited quarterback play versus limited quarterback play. They're going to be playing their quarterback, who I think just had one season last year, or a handful of games, and we don't even know who's playing quarterback at this point. So I think Sourdough Sam can. I think we can get it done. But again, if we start out slow at this point, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We usually catch fire or lightning in a bottle later in the year too. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the Steelers?
Well, I think we're gonna win this game. But like you said, we could lose it. It could be like the Niners always do, start off slow. I mean, I'm hoping that we win. I pick that we win because I know I know it's gonna be Trey Lance. I can't say I think it's gonna be Trey Lance as our starter, and he's gonna ball out. Like I said, what Michael said, he's here.
Hey, Tom. I really like it stuff, but let's keep it cool, man. I know, some people like the Lakers and some people like other stuff, but like maybe put some stars in between the F word or something. We got kids watching and grandparents and stuff. So I love you. You're the camel, but let's try to be positive. What do you think, Ryan? What do you think about the Steelers? Let's go around to everybody. We'll go from Corey to Ryan, John to David.
So I think we got a chance of dropping this one. The reason why I say that is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to be a formidable defense next year. It was they always have a stacked house when it comes to their defense. They like to play good, strong defense, and they added to that this year in the draft. It depends if our offensive line can figure their stuff out early this year. If not, you're talking about we might not be able to run the ball so well, because if they're getting blown up in the backfield, somebody got off quicker than somebody else, you know what I mean? Which happens in the beginning of the season. It won't matter how loud lights out our defense is playing unless they go points. You know what I'm saying? Unless they score one, maybe two touchdowns on their own. You know what I mean? In the offensive. So I can see us dropping it, but I'm not saying we lose it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's definitely a chance that we lose it.
Yeah, definitely. The terrible towels they'll be shaking there. John, what do you think?
Yeah, this game, the first game of the year. I want to shout out Rumbo Sports. He always says the first game of the year is always the tricky one. Last year, we were all confident that we're going to beat the Bears. Bears didn't, destroy us. They missed a lot of field goals in that game, week one. The game was much closer than it was. But when it comes to this game, I think it's going to come down to Kenny Pickett. If he still has those rookie mistakes, I think we'll win this game. So, the Niners are going to play really well, whoever the quarterback is. But if Kenny Pickett plays awful, we'll win this game. But the Steelers have a good defense. So this is a toss-up game for me. I'm going to give them the victory by a very, very small margin. So W for this game.
How do you feel, David?
Well, first things first, I think our mascot will take theirs.
Yeah, both of them.
But it does come down to QB play, because both teams have good defenses. Both teams are well coached. We're at Pittsburgh. None of us know what Cody Pickett or Trey Lance is going to do. Although Trey Lance is looking better than he has so far in training camp and whatnot. Well, not training camp, but the off-season workouts that he's doing right now. And it just comes down to QB play. Another thing too is I don't think the Steelers have lost a home opener in a very long time. So
Correct.
I fully expect a
it's not their
dogfight.
home opener. It's not their home opener. It's our home opener.
We're
Isn't
playing
it?
at Frisco. I thought we were playing at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we're playing at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
This is our first.
Okay,
East
never mind
Coast
then.
game.
Yeah, we're definitely more in trouble.
But
too.
my point was they haven't played. The Steelers haven't opened Week 1 since 2014. The Pittsburgh
Wow.
Steelers they win Week 1, or they might win Week 2 when they go home. So that might have something to do with it too. They're not maybe winning Week 1. They're winning their home game, their first home game. So I think this is going to have a lot of energy because it's their first game at home in almost 9 years. So terrible towels they will be shaking in the stands. They will definitely be shaking around. Let's go to our next game real quick.
This could come down to one thing: the kicker, and him hitting a 50-ish yard field goal to win the game. So
Yeah.
time for him to earn that money. Well, not earn the money, but earn his place.
Yeah. Well, moving on to our first home game of the year, where we will be playing in Levi South. The 49ers are going to be playing against the Rams. And, again, we'll be playing at home at Levi South. I have us winning this game too, guys. So I'm going to say 50-50 with the Steelers. That'll be my undecided game. But at this point, I'm thinking we're beating the Rams. We're definitely beating the Rams.
Yes, I agree. We are going to beat the Rams. We're going to sweep the Rams. I know Rams fans don't say, no, Corey. We're winning this year. We're going to beat the 49ers. But this year, I still believe in the 49ers beating the Rams. I don't have the confidence that the Rams could beat us. I'm wondering, is Matthew Stafford going to be able to stand up? Is he going to make it through his first season game to be able to play us? He might not. And he better hope he make it through us. Because if our defensive line get to him, hitting him too much, he might go down with an injury. I hope not. But I can't see the Rams beating us.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think Rams suck. They're going down twice this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I agree. What do you think, John?
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Rudy. He was in my chat yesterday, talking about how they're going to win the West. Shout out to Rudy. I disagree with Rudy. I think we're going to win this game. They've lost so many players, literally so many, not just their star players, but they've also lost players in free agency. So shout out to Rudy. He's a homer for his team, but I'm going to choose the 49ers to win week 2.
David, I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it.
So this is when we're going to Levi's Inglewood, and we're going to beat the Rams. Of course, we're going to beat the Rams. We're going to
Just got to make sure we have the capes on
We're going to
tight.
herd them sheep. We're going to herd them sheep back into the pen, and we're going to close the gate. That's right.
Yeah. All right. I love it. I love
Hey,
it.
David McNiner,
So,
what kind of
Yo,
meat do you like to have on your gyro?
no,
You
hold
like
on. You cut
lamb or
out.
you like beef? What kind of meat do you like
Lamb
on your
is actually
gyro?
pretty good.
Lamb or beef?
What?
That's
Yeah,
really
lamb is good.
really good.
have you had a gyro with both of them on it, where they mix
No.
it? They,
Oh
they
yeah.
do that in.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
do.
good too.
They do it in Fremont, and the first time I tried a gyro or a gyro, it depends on who you get it from. I seen it on like a spit, and it was turning, and they just keep shaving it, and oh my gosh, it's so good. So I like lamb and beef, and I like both of them. Shout out to the ziti sauce, I think it's called. But yeah,
Ziki.
so the Rams, I think Ziggy, thank you. It's got like little red white dots in it, so it's pretty neat. Oh, Tommy
Tzatziki.
actually he probably pronounced it too. So here we go for our next opponent. This is our first Thursday night game. We will be playing the New York Giants. We're playing at the Giant Stadium. This game, I'm going to say this game.
Isn't that a home game? I thought that was at Frisco.
No, it's New York. It's okay, so it's 49ers versus New
I
York
thought we had
Giants.
two.
Yeah, 49ers versus Giants.
2 away games at home.
Yeah, this one, it should have been Giants versus 49ers. I got it backwards when I put the banner together. But this is our home game. And yeah, we're playing the Giants.
Fire.
The Giants are a scary team. It's because our history with the team. We somehow lose by a field goal or a weird fumble, and it's not been just one player. It's been multiple players. So I really don't like the Giants. So I'm gonna say this would be like my other potential loss for the season is the Giants. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah,
Boo.
that's true. This game gonna be tough because it's gonna be depending on our defense, how we handle a mobile quarterback. Are we gonna be able to handle Jones? Daniel Jones is his name, I think. How we handle that quarterback if we can keep him in the pocket and sack him, and then I believe we can win this game. But we let him get loose. It's gonna be a long game for us. But I think we're gonna win.
What do you think, Ryan?
This kitty cat getting smoked, bro. I'm just saying. New York Giants don't even know what's about to happen. They are gonna. I don't think they're built. I don't think they're built for that. What did they get into the playoffs last year with? What kind of record was it? 9-8. They didn't do that much in the draft. You telling me that coach is going to turn around and change them 180 from where they were last year? Because that's what they need to be better. So I mean, like, I don't see that happening just yet, and I surely don't see them being able to stand up. With the people we brought in on offense and on defense. I don't know if you heard. Steve Wilkes yesterday and talking about how he brought Oliver in to be nickel. It seemed like he already knew that was you know what I mean? And then this is built like this.
Yeah, I feel it. I really do. I think this is a good team. And the Giants, they are like you said, 9-8. They're not the best team, but this could be a trap game if the Niners don't take them serious. This could be that game that we underestimate. What do you think, John?
So this game is an interesting game because we have a really good friend, Mr. YTC, and we were talking about his team yesterday. One thing that is going to hurt them is that they're going to be playing against the Cardinals week 2 and they got to fly all the way to the West Coast on a very, very short week, and that's going to be a little bit unfair when it comes to these Thursday games. So if you have to go across country, in a short week, the 49ers are going to be at home. So we'll be here, practicing. We'll have that extra day. So because of the short week for the Giants, because we're going to be at home, I got the W for this game.
What do you think, David? What do you think, David?
The Giants, so we're both on a short week. They are playing away from home for a couple weeks. And I mean, last year they started out hot and then they kind of fizzled a little bit down the stretch. And we typically start out slow. But I don't see us losing to these guys. We do have a problem with mobile quarterbacks, and I think Daniel Jones, that's where he's going to be a problem. I don't see him throwing it to, they don't have a ton of weapons. Yeah, they have Waller, but we have Fred Warner. We have Greenlaw. So Waller's going to be covered.
Mm.
And, then they do have a good running game between Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But we have, a new guy on the interior. Hopefully we're going to have Armstead and they learn how to manage that plantar fasciitis and keep him on the field. That's kind of a big thing there.
Like, I don't think he needs to practice much.
Look at our interior linemen. We have a good competition going on for the guys that are, the 4 or 5 roster spots they're going to allocate to that.
No, I got you. I'm just saying,
hoping,
does he really need to be practicing all the time? He's been
that's what
around how long now?
The end, when he was on the field toward the end, they were actually limiting him in practice. So I think they were, learning how to manage it. So hopefully we know how to manage that to keep him on the field, because he is an important piece to our run defense.
I wouldn't play him preseason either. There's no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
More time to figure out what else we got on the line,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm hoping we're going to beat these guys by 1 score.
Yeah.
It's a home game. I'm thinking we need some revenge for 2011.
Yeah. So
yep.
I want to point out I made a mistake. I want to say thank you to Tommy Huxley. YTC last night told me that they were going to be at home, so I got bad information. Yeah.
It happens. We're not perfect. If we're perfect, then we should be called Jesus or something, right? But
we ain't on Sports Center for a reason, right?
I mean, that's right. But we all appreciate everybody coming, interacting, and because we're not on Sports Center, we're able to read those comments and correct ourselves. So again, thank you, Tommy. You are the GOAT. Nope, I'm sorry, the camel with 2 humps. And don't forget, because we all love those lady humps. So
Camel with 2 humps.
He's got 2 humps.
He's got 2 humps. And if you go on your phone, you can find a camel with 2 humps. So if you see it, I'll be like, Tommy Huxley, you're the color, you're the camel. And he does. He chops it out too.
Yep.
So week 4, we're playing those pesky Cardinals. So I hope you guys are barbecuing. But I'm definitely going to have some kind of chicken or something. I don't like the Cardinals. They're like our little brother, I guess, in the division, if you want to think about it. They've been hot and cold at certain times, and it seems like they have our number when we're really, really bad. And when we're good, we seem to split with them. So, I mean, we've had like Colt McCoy go over there and, beat us and, just really horrible. So for me, this could be one of those games, again, the Niners have to go in. They have to be confident. They can't play around. This is a home game. This is we have 3 home games in a row. The Giants, the Cardinals, and our next opponent, the Cowboys. So if we could get onto a run right here, I could see it happening. I also, again, the Giants could, take us out, and then we could bounce back against the Cardinals. So I could see that happening. I don't see the Cardinals contending with anybody this year, even Kyler Murray comes back. at this point, I think the mascot right here could play better quarterback. I think he's just more dedicated. But that's my thoughts. What do you think, Corey?
Well, nigga, I think we're gonna beat the Cardinals because their organization's like trying to find their ways now because they had a lot of drama this off season. They got a new coach, so they got to get a feel of him, and they're gonna be playing this game without Kyler Murray. So I think the 49ers going to win this game. I think we're going to beat them. As long as we come out there and stay focused and don't overlook this team. Make sure they stay focused. Because when you overlook a team, sometimes that team will surprise you. So I'm calling it 49ers. Tuck them birds.
What do you think, Ryan?
If it's up, then it's stuffed. I think these guys are going down bad. They're not going to have Kyler Murray. They did pick up a quarterback. Who knows what they'll do? I just think this is going to be a massacre. I wish it was another Mexico City game. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to vanquish the Cardinals in front of the Hispanic people in Mexico again. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to do that. That'd be amazing. You know, it's like I feel like, you know, it's going back to the Aztec days where, you know, we're offering a sacrifice to the Mayans. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we got them up there. Yeah. So,
Mexico.
Right? Yeah. It's for the people.
That's funny.
For the culture. No, these guys are done. They've got a couple years of rebuilding. I don't think they could be successful until they figure out that Kyler Murray is not who they expected or who they need whatsoever, and they've got some Trojan horse in the building. And so until they kick it out before that thing, implodes from the inside, I will never give them the benefit of the doubt of being a winning team.
What do you think, John?
Yeah.
Arizona Cardinals.
So I like what you said about there are younger brothers. I was talking to TRL all season, and I said that you guys are the younger brothers of our division because if anyone has a younger brother, the younger brother always finds a way to beat the older brother. Not all the time. So that's a really good analogy, So the Cardinals are not going to have their quarterback for a while. Now, I do want to say that I think it was the 2021 season where Colt McCoy beat us. So we do have to look at the Cardinals, not lightly, but they're still the younger brothers. I do think that the Niners will be better prepared. They learned from that game that that was a low point for the 49ers. So I think the Niners are going to win this game. I think they're going to play smart. If Colt McCoy, he's beaten us before. So we can't take any of their backup quarterbacks lightly, any of their backup wide receivers, running backs lightly. And the Niners will say, all right, we're going to be focused. We're going to win this game, and we're not going to make no mistakes. So I got the W in this game.
What do you think, David? All right, we'll come back to David.
Hold on. Sorry, I was on mute. But
no worries.
I again think our mascot has got this. We put him in a cage with that bird. He's gonna take him. And then we got it's the Cardinals. They're rebuilding. They have a new coach. They're not gonna have Kyler Murray. They're not gonna have a mobile quarterback. But we don't even know if they're gonna have D-Hop.
Hey, do me a favor. Go ahead and take that Cardinal and put it down at the bottom of the farthest most shaft. Yeah, just leave it there. Don't worry. We'll check in a couple years or so. Don't worry.
But yeah, we're definitely taking the W on these guys because they're not, they're in a full rebuild at this point.
It's funny. Anyway,
Hey,
All
that
right, so
Cardinal
we're-
would still be alive until you went down there to check on it. Remember that. It's still alive until you find out that it's not. Schrodinger's cat. Remember that.
man.
Well, I threw the link out there. I got a little bit behind the notifications. I was having some tech issues, and I had some dad stuff that popped up real quick before the show started. So if Raven, Darwin, Levi, you want to come in, I threw it in the chat. I'm going to bring in Minor Niner. We're going to keep it quick and cordial because we do have like half the rest of the season to go through. So we'll bring him in real quick, and then we're going to get his analysts on the Cardinals real quick. Now this, I don't know if I can move you to the other side. Yeah, I can. I just figured out. Maybe I can. No. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now we got Jeff. Let me move. We're going to play around with that for a second. There we go. So now we're all in order. Jeff, go ahead. Let's bring back up the Cardinal real quick so you can see the pretty bird, and then tell us what you think. And we're going to keep it fun.
I think that we're gonna take the Red Roosters down, and we're gonna win this game. Exactly.
We do have Darwin. He popped in. Darwin, we're going to run through the Niners real quick, and then at the end, I'll have you give us a quick breakdown on your Ravens. It doesn't have to be super quick, but we'll have you can go from there. So how are you doing, Darwin? And what do you think of Kyler Murray? Do you think this mascot could play better football than him, or could they play? Should they compete just on video games together?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second.
So, Darwin, we can't hear you.
Well, this is working out well.
Yeah, come
All
in.
right.
Minor Niner mute, just talking. Or if you're talking to somebody else.
All right. I just muted Minor Niner. Darwin, can we hear you? Okay. I can't hear you, though. No, I can't hear you. So it's okay.
I can't hear you either.
Okay, so we can't hear you just yet. All right. So we can't hear you, but it's okay. We're going to jump to the Cowboys real quick. Thank you, everybody, for having fun with this, sticking around. These are the pesky Cowboys. They're coming to town. I love it. The Cowgirls, don't forget it. Don't be afraid of this guy over here. He's got 2 zeros on his chest. That's for a reason. They're the hero.
Are we assuming genders? Because I thought it was nowadays. Okay. Also, with days is in, to me, it's like past tense. You know what I mean? Like they used to be. You know what I mean? Days. I like it. You don't. I'm just joking.
What do you think, Corey? What do you think of the Cowboys?
You got it right the first time. You said cowgirls, and you got it spelled down there cowgirls. You got it right. So this is a game that we really can't take lightly. Because cowgirls gonna come in. They probably tired of losing to us in the playoffs. They gonna want to make something out of themselves. I say this game is like a maybe to me. It's like, how are we gonna come in, face this team? Are they gonna come hungrier than us? Because they want to prove a point. They want to beat us. This is like gonna be like their Super Bowl. Beating us. I'm gonna say this is a maybe for me.
This is the first time I think the Cowboys have played the 49ers on Sunday night since like 1990 or something like that, or 91, something like that. So it's going to be a pretty huge game. What do you think? What do you think, Ryan?
set match. I think not only are they changing kind of, this might be in the time they kind of start figuring out better, but they're still not on status. So I keep them in a their best and with our teams. Also, I'm defenders kicking and start really getting in here. Finally, this be a good game.
I don't know
No.
if it's just me.
Even though
my mic is cutting in and out a little bit. I have a new mic and I gotta play with it a little bit, so I might be popping a little bit. I apologize, guys.
So Steve-O says that something's wrong with the microphones of Ryan and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying I'm Ryan was going in and out. I didn't hear what he said. He was going no border sports was going in and out. I didn't hear one word he said.
What do you think, John? What do you think of the Cowgirls?
You know, everyone knows I'm not a fan of the Cowboys, so I don't want to say anything nice about them. But this game could also be a test that they'll play us really, really well. Every game in the NFL is dangerous. This could be one of these trap games, on paper, oh, we're going to beat the Cowboys. Like everyone. So I'm not going to take the Cowboys lightly. I'm going to put this as a 50-50 game. But I hope we do not lose to the Cowboys. So I want the win so badly. So I'm going to get a W.
All right. David, what do you think?
I'm with John Jay. I'm not taking the Cowboys lightly. They have a good defense. You know, their head coach, he hasn't done anything since like 2010, I think. And they have Dak Prescott, who throws more picks than he does, plays in games. So I honestly see us winning this game. I think it's going to be another knockdown, drag-out fight, but we will be keeping the TV retailers in Texas in business.
Oh, like that. Levi, I know this isn't your team, but you got expert analysis. I'd love to hear your opinion on it. The Cowboys/Cowgirls versus the 49ers and the Gold Rush cheerleaders. What do you think?
Versus the 49ers, I think that's going to be such a good matchup. The Cowboys, the only thing they were missing last season was run defense in the middle. They cycled through so many D tackles. They even made a move at the trade deadline, thought they found their guy. And that was part of the reason they moved up to grab Mozzie Smith, the defensive tackle out of Michigan. Don't sleep on Brandon Cooks, the wide receiver traded from one Texas franchise to the other. Man, it's going to be a tough game. I hope the best for your 49ers, but I could see that one coming out either way.
Yeah, I got a feeling like what you guys are saying as well. The Cowboys can come in and actually take this one from us because we've had their number for the last couple of games. This is kind of their Super Bowl. They have to get over us to get to it where we've been. So we have to beat Eagles at this point. We're not worried about the Cowboys. So, all right, let's move to our next team real quick, our next game, so we can keep this going and having fun. We are going to be playing the Cleveland Browns, and we should be playing at Cleveland. So we have a problem with mobile quarterbacks. We know that. And we also don't really know what Deshaun Watson is going to be like or DTR. So either one of these quarterbacks could light us up or take us out, take themselves out. So this is a game. I would hope the Niners win, but this could turn out to be a trap game if they go in overconfident. I think this is a game with a mobile quarterback. Both DTR or Watson could really just get to the outside. But with us switching our defense, and us not necessarily having the best tacklers at the cornerback position anymore, and maybe going for more ball hawks. This might be where our linebackers are more aggressive, and they worry about tackling, and they have to now keep their eyes on the quarterback because they're not worried about the protection, the wide receivers anymore or coverage. They're worried about that quarterback because we have guys that are looking for that ball who can catch that ball. So instead of Fred Warner standing in the middle of the field trying to intercept, he might be running at Watson. That's my thoughts. What do you think, Corey?
The Cleveland Browns. We do always seem to beat them, but like you said, we had that Watson. He's a mobile quarterback, and if he comes in correct and do what he used to do, they could beat us. But I'm thinking we're gonna win this game. I got us winning.
All right, love it. John, what do you think? Are you afraid of the dog pound, or what do you think?
So this is a game that I'm calling the trap game because I do worry about the Cleveland Browns, not because they're a good team, is because we don't know. We don't know how Deshaun Watson, after all those years of dealing with legal stuff. So I don't know. But at the same time, he could torch us. Nick Chubb is very dangerous. He's a big dude, big body who can go through the tackles, who can run outside. Their defense is also, not the best, but they got a lot of good players. So I see this game as a trap game. Like, everyone's going to say we're going to beat them, and this team could, get that first loss on us this year. So I'm going to give the Niners, this game will be their first loss because it's going to be a trap game because we don't know how good Deshaun's going to be, how good the offense is going to be, how good the defense is going to be. So this is my trap game. We could lose this game. So I'm going to put this on the L column, but at the same time we can win. But hypothetically, this is a trap game. First L for the Niners.
I agree. David, what do you think?
I'm with John Jay. I honestly think Deshaun Watson by week 6 should have his mojo back, and the Cleveland's actually trying to prove something this year. They're still the Browns, and I like the poo emoji background. That's awesome.
Shout out Tony. He made it.
But yeah, they have Myles Garrett. They actually have a decent defense, and between Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson, their offense, we just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's not much tape on these guys yet as a team. So yeah, I honestly think this is a trap game, and we're gonna take the L here.
Mr. Levi.
Yes, sir.
You have a little bit more. Yeah, you have a little bit more inside information on the Browns. They're a divisional opponent. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean the Browns been put together. I mean, they've had kind of like the Bengals used to have the best team in the NFL. Just pre-Watson, they just never had a QB still, and Watson in his games last year did not look that good. Like, the offense looked the part, but if he can bring it together, that roster is too dang talented. And they just made the trade with the Vikings for Zadarius Smith, the former Raven as well, who brings a really good inside-outside pass rush presence. They could be sneaky good, and I think they've still got moved for free agents. So, like your boy said, don't sleep on them. They could be a trap game. And if you got to come to Cleveland, I don't know if it's at Browns. Hey, man, playing that stadium is on the Great Lakes. It's a different world out there.
It gets cold. It gets cold, and the Dog Pound fans are very ferocious. They have a bite. They're not the friendliest people out there. They call them the Dog Pound for a reason.
They are loyal.
I wouldn't say they're as bad as the Raiders or the Eagles, but I wouldn't put them too far away from them either. And let's throw the Bears in that situation too. Shout out to all the great fan bases out there, but you know who you are and you know how you act at a stadium. And throwing beer bottles at women's heads, and that ain't right. So moving on.
I want to change my vote on that one.
All right, let's go back. Go back.
I want to say I want to give us an L on that one too.
Okay.
I feel the same way as David John. This could be a trap game for us. So I'm gonna take the L on this one.
Yeah, it's that game. If we sleep on this could definitely be that trap.
Yep.
Brian, you still there?
Y'all like that? So we got the Vikings coming, and we're gonna leave Cleveland, and we're gonna go play the Vikings. So it shouldn't be too far of a trip for us. I think this is that game. If you play the Vikings and you don't continue to put them away, they will come back. In this, they showed it. How many points were they down? 30-something points, and they come out and they won that game. Like, they definitely have a team that can compete. They have the players. They have the mentality. They're not afraid to put points on the board. They're not afraid to come from behind. But they make these mental mistakes, or they make these silly errors, and something happens at the end, and they just can't string it together. So this could be that game again, like the Cowboys. They have their Super Bowl. The Vikings, this could be their Super Bowl against us. You can show that you can beat a good team. You have more confidence moving into the playoffs. This could be a really, really bad game for the 49ers, but I feel like we're going to be able to go in. I think Kyle has a little bit of knowledge about Kurt, and he should be able to lock him down. So I'm going to say the Niners are winning this game. I'm pretty confident about that, but if we don't get off the boat, or if we stay on the boat, the Vikings might just burn it for us. So what do you think, Corey?
I have us winning this game. I think we're going, because we lost to the Cleveland Browns. I think we're going to bounce back and beat the Vikings, because we're going to come say, hey, we lost that one. So we're going to come and win and focus on the Vikings and beat them in their home. And way looking at you telling we have it looks like it's going to be a primetime game. So like you said, Kirk Cousins can't win a primetime game.
Yeah, he's got a problem. He's got some kind of mental hiccup or something. He's a good quarterback, but when it comes down to it, maybe he's just got bad luck or something. I don't know if that black cat is following him or whatnot, but he's he's got the stats. You can say, oh, he's not a bad quarterback. He's like the next Matthew Stafford or something, right? So is he going to be the next Los Angeles Ram quarterback, you guys think? I don't know. What do you think, John? What do you think of the Vikings versus the 49ers?
So last year I found out a stat that at the end of the year that the 12 victories, 11 of them were one-score games, and someone said that they technically could have been 1-16 if the games would have shifted the other way. 6 of the games, 3 of them came down to last-second field goals by the other team that missed, or they made the field goal. 3 of the 6 games were when the opponents were inside the 20-yard line and they fumbled the ball with less than a minute left for the Vikings to win. So the 6 games could have gone either way. They could have been 6-11, but they do have a dangerous offense. Justin Jefferson, since he's been in the league, has been breaking records. Kirk Cousins puts good stats. Dalvin Cook. Their defense, unfortunately, is at the bottom of the league. So that's one of the reasons why the Vikings are inconsistent, because of their defense. They give up a lot of points, a lot of yards. But the Niners have a good defense. The game is going to be very manageable. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And the Niners are going to do really well. Kirk Cousins is 2-10 in primetime games. I don't know why he loses a lot of primetime games. But the 49ers will win this game, and we'll win it easily.
What do you think, David? All right, we're going to jump to Darwin. We'll come back to David. David, we'll come back to you. Darwin, what do you think of the Vikings? You like that?
Man, I think the Vikings are actually going to take a step back this year. This is going to be a week 6 through 10 is going to be a brutal stretch for y'all. Browns, Vikings, at Vikings. But I think y'all come ahead of the Vikings. I think they take a step back. It's all on the shoulders of Jefferson over there, basically. And I think their rookie, Jordan Addison's going to kind of, by week 7, he's going to start fading.
I honestly think
What do you
Dalvin
think,
Cook, running backs don't last forever. I think Dalvin Cook's going to be taking a step back. I think Kirk Cousins is 35, and he as NFL players get older, the grind gets hard, and he's probably not going to like this, but he's taking the loss.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think I don't know if it's going to be like a easily game. I just because it's one of those things. It's like you've seen how the Colts and the Vikings played last year. I think if the Niners get overconfident, they start taking pictures in the end zone again. Stuff can happen. So I'm going to stay tight and again, I hope the Niners can get off the boats and they can keep the Vikings from burning them, because we definitely want to come back to Levi's. We don't want to stay in Minnesota. Nobody wants to stay in Minnesota unless you live there and you love the Minnesota weather. But all right, so Who Day, we're coming to play you, and it's going to be the Niners. The Bengals are coming to the Niners, and it's this is a game that I think a lot of people are expecting us to lose because Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's that guy, right? He's got the jacket, he's got the hair, he's even got the chain. But I don't care what you dress like at the press conference. I know the Niners played him before. We played him with Jimmy G and beat him. I know everybody was pretty confident if we would have caught the interception and played him in the Super Bowl, they're really confident we would have won that. And I don't know if it's just confidence, like, oh, we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it, or they really thought we were just the better team. But it seems like when you have a quarterback that's a pocket passer, the Niners seem to do a little bit better. But again, we need to have corners on the side that can either take advantage and go after the ball, or we can't have corners dropping the ball. And I think that's the biggest thing, like against the NFC Championship game, Tart would have made that catch, then we wouldn't have feared him dropping an interception against Joe Burrow. So it's kind of like, was it like what things is like a premonition, like you're not going to be there because you don't have the corners. So now we have corners that can intercept. I think this defense is going to just straight be really, really aggressive. They're not going to miss a beat, but they're not going to be the same. They're going to be different in different categories. They're still going to be number one, but we're going to be taking the ball away. We're not going to be letting these teams go down the field on us and stand them up at the 1 yard line and make them kick a field goal or settle for a field goal. We're going to be taking the ball from them, and wherever we catch the ball, the 20, 30, that's when our offense is going to come out. So the Bengals, I got to see the Niners play the Bengals in 2014. They beat us. Blaine Gabbert was the quarterback. I was really upset. So this is a game that every time I see them come to Levi's, I definitely want to see them lose. I want the Bengals to lose. That's my thoughts. What do you think, Corey? Are you afraid of the stripes, or you like the stripes?
This game, I don't know. It's just like last time we played them, we had to go in overtime. And I'm trying to remember, we won that game, right? We beat them in overtime. Yeah. And Joe Burrow's a good, and I believe he's a mobile quarterback, right? I was taking the L on this game.
All right, I think
You
we
know,
might have buffered out for a second.
I was taking the L on this game, but I'm hoping we win. But I hope I'm wrong. But if we do win, I think it's gonna be by a field goal by Jake Moody kicking the field goal. But I'm still gonna say we're gonna take a L on this game.
What do you think? Are you there, John?
Yeah. Oh, I just heard you. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you think
Okay.
of the Bengals?
I want to say something. I hope this helps out. Before I give you my answer, on the StreamYard, right there, the screen that we're all on, and that wonderful, beautiful picture of the 49ers mascot and the Bengal. Underneath there are some small boxes, and I don't know if you see one that has like two small people and a box. I don't know if you see that underneath the screen. I think
Let's talk.
click on that, if you click on that one, you can still see all the pictures and you can see ourselves. I wanted to
Thanks, John. Thanks, John. Let's talk about that afterwards because I kind
Okay.
of like the overview on everybody because everybody's showing their camera. So let's go ahead and hear your analyst about the Bengals, and we're gonna move on.
Okay. So the Bengals. This is actually my first true loss against them because Joe Burrow's really good quarterback. They got Joe Mixon. The thing that the Niners can get the victory is the offensive line. I've watched a lot of Bengals games in the last 3 years, and Joe Burrow is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. And that's with a quarterback who's also mobile. So he's a mobile quarterback as well. He's not Lamar Jackson who runs outside with quickness. He can run through the tackles. He's not afraid to take the hit. He's not afraid to take the slide. Got a good arm, and this is now his, I want to say, 4th season. So he's getting better and better. Jamar Chase, oh my goodness, he's a really good wide receiver. Really, really good wide receiver. Their defense has got way better. Way better. Unfortunately, the Chiefs is in their conference. I think they would be a really, really good team. The Niners have a good defense. For us to win this game, is we got to hit them hard in their offensive line to get to Joe Burrow because he's the most sacked quarterback. But I do think the Bengals are going to be too much for us. I think we're going to match points back and forth. It could come down to the kicking team on both teams. I think that the team that has the ball last will win this game. We are at home, so we got that home field advantage. So I'm going to give this our second L on the schedule.
Awesome. I could see it happening. David, what do you think? What do you think about Houday?
Well, I still think our mascot could take their mascot. I mean, miners are tough, right? But when it comes down to the Bengals, this is going to be a tough game because we played them in 2021, and that was a ground out victory. Our defensive line is gonna win this game for us. They're gonna tear up the Bengals offensive line. They're gonna sack Joe Burrow. They're gonna put pressure on him. They're gonna make our defensive backs make life easier on them because Jamar Chase is a fantastic wide receiver. But I think this is going to be a 1-point victory, 1 to 3 point victory, and I got it down for a W.
What do you think, Levi?
as the representative of the AFC North, I love that we're playing y'all this year. This is tough because it's at home for the 49ers. But man, the Bengals guys, they're good. Of course, you got to start with Joe Burrow. They lost Hayden Hurst and their safeties, Jesse Bates and Von Bell. But they brought in Irv Smith, the tight end, formerly of Minnesota, before they went and got TJ from Detroit. They went and got Orlando Brown Jr., the franchise guy left tackle, when they already had a franchise tackle in Jonah Williams, who's now going to slide to the right side. They made a few signings at guard. And then, I mean, guys, in the draft, they went and got Miles Murphy, if I'm not mistaken, the edge rusher from Clemson. Then they went and got DJ Turner and battled us. So the defensive back from Michigan and the safety from Bama. So they kind of loaded right back up. You might squeak the win, but I think the Bengals going to eat a Miner today. A big ass cat.
Ooh, I don't know if I like that, because, Miners, we had to deal with those mountain lions and pumas, we got a pickaxe. So I think it would be a good square off, but
I'd take a mountain lion over a Bengal any day.
All right. Well, let's go to our next banner, and I think we have a bye week, if I'm correct, and that's a perfect time to take a bye, because wrong one.
Look like your mascot.
Yeah, that's our week 9 bye week. Yep. So
and my name's Levi. Just saying.
Yep. I feel it. One day we'll have you a Niner. We'll get you a Niner jersey over there, or a hoodie. But we're going to Duval Valley, guys, and you know who we got to play down there. So we're gonna bring
Shout out the Beard. Shout out the Beard.
We got the Jaguars, and we got to go to Florida. So I hope everybody brings their sun tanning lotion. They bring their shades. If you want to wear a Speedo, okay, that's your prerogative. But I think the Niners have a good chance here. But the one thing I want to say about the Jaguars is, out of everybody in the league, their quarterback has the best hair. So that if that has anything to do with anything, I'm gonna this could be a trap game for me. This could totally be a trap game. The Niners are possibly going to go in and overlook this game, but the Jaguars are getting to become sneaky good. So hopefully the Jaguars can put up a pretty good fight, because, again, I think their quarterback's pretty good. He definitely has cool hair. And if that has anything to do with anything, the Niners might be in trouble here. What do you think, Corey?
We're going to beat the Jaguars. We're going to have a good running game against them. And Christian McCaffrey going to have good run and good pass catches coming out that backfield. And he's going to be the MVP of this game. So we're going to beat the Jaguars in Florida.
I like it. Do you just feel it because you just think we're just a better team overall, or do you feel it because it's just that's just what you feel deep downside?
I just feel deep downside that we're gonna win this game, because I don't know. Yes, the quarterback, he's learning. Each year he's getting a little bit better, but he's gonna lose because we're going to sack their quarterback, too. We're going to have a sandwich out of him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be probably one of the toughest defenses, if not the toughest defense he'll have to play since he's been in the league. But the one thing about him is he's supposed to be like some kind of generational talent. Mm-hmm. And again, maybe if he cuts his hair, he'll lose it all. Maybe if I don't know. Again, maybe it's got to do something with that flip he does with his hair. So we'll move on to John. John, what do you think about the Jaguars?
All right. So the last time we played the Jaguars, I want to ask Nathan Z, because, he lives in that part of Florida, why there were no Jaguar fans. Because when I was watching that Jaguars game against the Niners, I said, why is there only Niner fans? So hopefully I can speak to him and ask him that question. The last time we played the Jaguars, it was Joe Burrow's first year. The team has got better since then. Uh, this game's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch. I don't live in Florida, but the 49er fans are gonna go to that game. They're gonna have a fun time watching this game. I agree with Brian. This is gonna be a tough game. I'm calling it. It's gonna be a tough game. It's not gonna be easy. We're not gonna run over them like we did last time. They got that Travis Etienne, I think that's his name. Their defense has got better. Doug Peterson is a good coach. So this game is going to be, I think this is going to be the game of the year for the Niners. Call me crazy. I don't do a lot of predictions. I think this is going to be the game where, oh my gosh, everyone's going to be turning it on. Everyone's going to be watching it. It's going to be a back and forth game. And the Niners are going to come out at the end and win the game. And all the fans in Florida who are 49er fans are going to have a fun day in Jacksonville. That's my only prediction. The fans in Florida will have a fun time at the stadium.
I like it. David, do you want to see the picture again, or is that you got enough juice to?
No,
analysis
I
on the
definitely
Jag-
don't.
Let's just
I definitely don't need to see that again. But yeah. Our mascot's definitely got that. I mean, that's like that wouldn't even be a match, But we're definitely gonna go down to the Jaguars. This is just after our bye week, so maybe we'll fly back there. Spend a week in Florida on vacation. Before getting back to work. And then it's time to handle business. It's time to show Trent Baalke what he's doing wrong, And Trevor Lawrence, we're going to put him under some pressure. He's going to make mistakes. But you can never count him out. Look at last year's playoff game against the Chargers. Dude threw 5 picks in like the first 2 quarters, and they still came back and somehow won that. But I think our defense is good enough, and it's going to be, we have Steve Wilkes, who's an experienced coach in the NFL. So I honestly think we got this.
Yeah. What do you think, Darwin? I'm sorry, I like calling you Darwin, Raven, Levi. I won't call you ugly.
We're excited. I'm down here in Florida, so any 49er fans going to that game, if you got an extra ticket, want to bring me along, go. But they were surprising last year. They lost their tackle in free agency, but of course they addressed it with their first overall pick. They went tackle, tight end, running back with their first 3 picks. So they really even loaded up more weapons for Trevor Lawrence over there. But after that, they made a lot of trades to acquire extra picks. Don't sneak. They're going to have a really good young linebacker core. Watch out for this kid, Ventrell Miller, out of Florida. They drafted a really rangy kind of linebacker, can cover a lot of ground. And then they went and got a linebacker edge hybrid, Abdullah, I think Nebraska, if I remember correctly. Again, really rangy guy. I loved watching him at the combine a little bit. He looked really good. It's going to be hard coming from West Coast back to the East Coast for that game. But at least it's going to be warm. It's not going to be like Minnesota and Cleveland. I've got the Niners squeaking by here. I think they're going to look sluggish after that, going East Coast, West Coast, back to East Coast. You got a bye, I think, somewhere in there, thankfully. But I think Moody is going to pay off so much for y'all this season. I'm telling you, this game, Moody's going to come in handy. I'm telling you, in that Bengal game, I think Moody might come in like big in that game too. Like, Moody's going to show why he was taken this year. I have a feeling just looking at y'all's schedule, the traveling. I mentioned earlier in chat, y'all have 4 leading the league. You and the Rams, 4 teams you're facing after their bye week, basically. No other team faces more than 2. So you've got a lot of like guys that are just rearing to come after you.
Yeah, everybody's going to be trying to, play the Niners as their Super Bowl, game. Like this is their statement. Oh, we beat the Niners. And then if we lose 2 or 3 of those games, everybody will be, definitely doubting us next year. So again, the Niners, I don't like when the Niners get, their head and they start saying, "Oh, we're better than everybody." No, you need to have that, underdog mentality. The world's against you. You haven't proven anything. You haven't won anything, because we haven't won anything at this point. So yeah, I can see it happening.
Well,
All
if I
right,
can make one more note about that game.
yeah, go for it.
With the tackle situation, you're going to be harassing Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence has one of the fastest releases in the NFL last year. Like last year, I think it was like 3.5, 3.8 seconds from snap to throw. So get 49ers defensive line, get your hands up. Big note. Get your hands up for the quick passes.
Well, so there's this bar joke, right? And this is like a guy walking up, and he had like long hair, and at first you didn't see anything, and you bumped into him. Well, bar fight happens, right? Well, that dude spun around so fast, all I seen was like a lion coming, and then my face got hit with his hand. It's like boom. So for him going to the Jaguars and him having that hair, I kind of think he went to the wrong cat team. I'm just saying, if he would have went to the Lions, that could have been their guy, But
look at that mane. That's not hair. That's a mane.
Funny.
All right, moving to our next team, we got the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield's there now. I don't know if he's going to be their starter. I don't know if they're going with Blaine Gabbert, if he's still going to be suiting up. I think he's still there. He's the only quarterback with a ring there, so that could be interesting. I don't like the Buccaneers. I really haven't really ever liked the Buccaneers since like 1998. That's when I think they started playing pretty decent. So I'm not afraid of Baker Mayfield, but they do have a good defense down there. And if he's competitive, if he's confident, and this could be a back and forth game. This could be a game won off the kicker too, because. But that's my thoughts. I think this could be. I think the Niners should win this. It's not going to be a handily game, but I think the Niners will win this. What do you think, Corey? Corey, you're muted.
Come on, there you go. Yeah, I was muted. I think we're gonna win this game. Nick Bosa's gonna be hungry to get to Baker Mayfield. He's still gonna want to sack him, so he's gonna be hungry to come after him. And yes, Tampa Bay defense is pretty good, but I don't know if Baker Mayfield gonna make that offense great. So I think we're gonna win this game. I have us winning the game.
What do you think, John?
I agree with the defense. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach. Always has good defensive players. So we will be challenged. But when it comes to their offense, someone told me that they've lost a lot of pieces. And Baker Mayfield, I know they got Kyle Trask at quarterbacks. And I think Little Spongy said Gabbert is behind Mahomes now. So I'm going to say the 49ers are going to win this game. Yeah. Don't have.
All right. I like it.
I like Baker Mayfield.
You want to give any more? Go for it.
I don't have any confidence in Baker Mayfield. Like, we've played him twice, and every time we've played him, it's been a blowout. So I don't know if he just plays bad against us, or he's not as good as most of people who say like he's way better than most people think he is. So, or maybe his first couple of years in the league were his best years, and he's just been regressing.
What do you think, David? You think Baker Mayfield's got what it takes? Is he still cooking down there? It's a new kitchen.
I think I call him Faker Failfield for a reason, And we exposed Tampa Bay for what they really are last year, and they haven't done much to get better. They don't have Tom Brady anymore. They're gonna be going into full rebuild mode. I mean, their defensive line is aging. We're definitely gonna win this game. I'm predicting a blowout.
I like it. What do you think, Raven? You know Tampa Bay. You're a Florida guy.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, I think they're coming to Levi Stadium for that game, right?
I believe so.
I think you know it. What John Jay said, that offense is going to be anemic. Baker's not the guy. And I'm like looking in the draft. They went defensive line, tackle, edge. And their tackle Cody Mock out of North Dakota State might move into guard because they lost Shaq Mason, their Pro Bowl right guard. So keep an eye on that. Like Bosa lined up against the rookie, possibly. I think there's Baker, whoever's behind center is going to get harassed. But don't sleep on that Tampa defense. Their first round pick was Cansey, the guy that got a lot of Aaron Donald comparisons. They picked up Yaya from Louisville, one of my favorite guys. And then looking at their draft, I mean, again, they did not address a lot of offense in the draft and in their free agency. Like John Jay said, they lost a lot of guys in free agency. The defense might make it interesting, but I think the Niners are going to kind of whop Tampa at home. I think, especially if they have some losses on away games, they're coming back to Levi Stadium to make a statement.
Yeah, I like that because if you look at it, who's Tampa playing? They're playing the Panthers, the Saints. The Saints might compete for the division. The Falcons might compete. The Panthers aren't that bad, but they're in a transition. They're rebuilding.
I'm telling you,
Panthers. It's almost anyone's division right there to win at this point. With the rebuilding of Carr, the rebuilding with Baker Mayfield, the Panthers, changing their their coach, quarterback, kicker, and then Atlanta did the same thing. Basically, they don't have Marcus anymore. So I think maybe Atlanta takes a step back in that division. I'm not sure there. But
can I ask you about that? Do you think Kyle ends up in Atlanta? Kyler Murray?
Oh wow. That's
been talked about a lot because again, their roster doesn't make sense. Like Calais Campbell signing, he wants a Super Bowl ring. They're not getting a ring with Ritter. Who's the QB?
That wouldn't be like a horrible idea for either franchise. I could see Kyler going there and playing well because of the AstroTurf, the color scheme. He's still going to be wearing black, white, red, and white. So
you got Drake London. It's two really big targets, like good running back, like
good tight end.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like
their kicker is really good too. I mean, just gotta say,
play indoors too. It's a covered stadium, dome stadium. So just like I think in Arizona.
Oh my gosh! Wow. What do you guys think? Because let's go real quick with that, and then we'll jump to our next game. Corey, do you like Kyler in Atlanta, or do you think that's just a dream?
I think that's just a dream.
What do you think, John? Okay,
I don't
Corey.
think the Birds gonna let him go.
Nah, I don't think they'll let him go either. What do you think, John?
I gotta agree with Corey. I think it's just a dream. Yeah.
David, you think it's a dream, or you think it could happen?
A dream? What are we talking about?
Kyler potentially going to the Falcons.
I don't see that happening. I mean, yeah, I just don't see that happening. I think the Falcons are, going to be searching for a quarterback for years at this point.
I think it's a potential possibility. Yeah, I think it's a dream. But if you look at Michael Vick, where did he go? He went to another Bird team. So that's really interesting. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Together.
Well,
yeah.
To say this quickly, like Michael Vick, what happened, and Andy Reid gave him a chance because nobody wanted to give him a chance because they didn't want to deal with that situation. So he did go to a Bird team. So but it was the opportunity that was just put in his hand because I don't think anybody wanted Michael Vick after that situation.
Does anybody remember the commercial? There was a Nike commercial that came out a couple of years ago. Well, not a couple of years ago, about 20 years ago. It was like 2002, 2003. T.O. was running down the field in a green uniform. He had a feather on his helmet, and Michael Vick was running around in the back, scrambling. Everybody was coming at him. It was like even the kicker off the bench was coming at him, and he throws the ball, and then T.O. reaches out and grabs it, and they were trying to – there was this Nike commercial, and they were trying to build this dream team. What I thought was really funny that they both ended up there, but it wasn't the same time. But I just think that sometimes I think it's really funny when you see like these teams or these players that are like LeBron James, for instance. He's like, oh, I want to play with this guy. So then he moves to a different team, and then he gets 4 or 5 other players to move with him, and they build the super team. So, all right, guys, let's keep it going. And I appreciate you for all being here, sticking with us. The chat is popping. So this isn't my statement, but I love this. I believe it was Brad who said this. I could be wrong, SF Niners. But he said we're going to be going through a portion of the season where you better be ready. We're going duck hunting, okay? And I know there's no ducks in the NFL, but we're playing the Seahawks, the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Ravens. So we are going bird hunting, if you want to say it like that. So if you got your Nintendo, your old Nintendo duck hunt game, get ready to start playing it. But we're going to start out with Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to bring their leader up. We all know what they look like.
They're going hunt.
So here we go. The Seahawks are coming to Levi's, and week 14. So what do you guys think? I think we're going to sweep the division, but it's one of those games. If there's a team right now that's going to compete, it's going to be the Seahawks. I could see us splitting with the Seahawks, but this would be a 50-50 game for me. I'm not going to say we're losing this game, but this could be that game. What do you think, Corey?
I think we're gonna pluck the feathers. We're gonna beat this bird team. We're gonna, because I said it before. I told Joe this, and I told Eddie that we're gonna sweep the Seahawks this season. So I have us winning this game.
Yeah, I could see us winning this game. I could see it. John, if you're not ready, we'll go to David, or we can go to
I'm sorry.
Darwin.
There was a ambulance that was passing by my house. I didn't want you guys to hear that because I live right next to a freeway.
Yeah, no worries.
So when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks, for whatever the reason, even though last year we went 3-0 twice in the regular season and once in the playoffs, but in the second game and the playoff game, they really scared the 49ers, but then we bounced back in the second half in those games and got those victories. We're coming off a short week, because after that, we know it's the Thursday night football game with Thanksgiving on the road. I'm not going to act like, we're going to destroy the Seahawks because they're going to give us a tough time. This is another trap game. This is another trap game, just like the Cleveland Browns. On paper, we could kill them, we could destroy them, we can go bird hunting, like you guys said. But don't be surprised if they give us that loss. I'm gonna go with the W, but this is a trap game that could beat us. So it's a 50-50 game, just like that Cowboys game. It's a 50-50 game, but I'm gonna give them the W.
I can see it. David, what do you think? What do you think about the Seahawks?
I think we go to Seattle. We have problems up there. And Pete Carroll just, he always seems to have his team prepared to play against us when we're in Seattle. So I do think we're taking the loss. And, that's the second loss I have us taking on the season up there. Even though our mascot will take their mascot, they're still going to beat us.
Facts.
Yeah, I think it can happen, but we'll have to definitely watch out for that bird that they got in that stadium too. He flies around, so they might try to tag team us. What do you think, Darwin? What do you think about the Seahawks and the Niners? This is Joe's team.
I know week 12. This is going to be a rough stretch for y'all. You're going bird hunting, but the birds of prey might be out picking some eyeballs from your minor.
Oh wow.
This is rough, dude. You go at Seattle, at Philly, and then host Seattle. I mean, Seattle's got that dog in them. They loaded up. They had a good draft. I mean, is Geno that guy though? Is Geno the guy? I think it's going to be close. I think you barely lose this game. No, I'm giving you the L. Sorry. I think going to that stadium, taking the L, it's gonna be a rough.
I think
game, y'all.
I think so. I think it could be a really hard game for us because it's in Seattle. There's all that, turkey talk and stuff, but I could see us beating them in Seattle, eating turkey, and then losing the next game. I could see that happening
By
too.
the way, a Thursday night game, 8:00 Thursday game, so it's a short week coming off Tampa game.
Yeah. So I would be happy to see us win that game and lose in Levi's, but I think this could be a bad game. I just hate playing the Seahawks on Thanksgiving after that whole debacle. I like Richard Sherman, but I'll never get that out of my head. Him with the big turkey leg, and I won't. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, man. That.
Oh, he's frozen.
I'm about to say, did Tony freeze up?
Oh wow.
That turkey leg really got him, boys.
Let's see. I want to shout out our mascot.
There he is.
I want to shout out our mascot. He's somehow related to our Levi. Somehow related to our mascot.
That's funny.
Give me that. Give me a little 49er jersey, a little yellow ascot. My hat.
Love it. So yeah, we're going bird hunting the next couple weeks. It's going to be brutal for us. We play the Seahawks, and what would be the worst team to play right after the Seahawks? I'd say either the Eagles or the Ravens, and it's almost like that, almost exactly like that. So the Eagles are coming. Well, we have to go play at the Eagles. So this would be the game. Like, okay, if we was to lose this game in the season, everybody's going to say, "Oh, the Niners aren't legit, right?" But I'd almost rather lose this game and then play them in the playoffs and beat them in the playoffs. But I think this game could decide first seed potential. I think if we take care of Dallas, then it's going to be the Eagles, and the Eagles will either be in first place at the division or it'll be the Cowboys. So depending on this game, I think this will put first seed in the NFC West. Again, I'd rather lose this game than to lose in the playoffs, but I don't know. I don't know. This game, I wish it would have been earlier in the season. That's my thoughts on that. What do you think, Corey?
This game, the Eagles, I'm afraid of this game. I'm nervous about this game. And I do think, I hope we get this is our revenge game. Hope all our 49ers players are really focused on this game and they get their revenge. I hope Debo gets his revenge and we win this game. So I'm giving us a W on this game. Even though it could go the other way.
Yeah, I see it could go either way too. What do you think, John? What do you think of the Eagles?
So, I remember the last time 49er fan says revenge, either revenge game, revenge tour, then it work out. So I never ever have the mindset of a revenge game, get your revenge. You got to play the opponents that are in front of you. It doesn't matter if if we want revenge. That's the players on the field. They're the ones that should have, like that, that grit of we want to come back. We want to win. We want to prove all the doubters wrong. So I want the Niners to win every game. That's basically what a 49er fans. We want to win every game. I don't think the Eagles are going to have a good year like they did last year. As I pointed out yesterday when I was talking to YTC, their division in a 6-week span early in the year is going to be with a lot of tough teams. The Niners, we got Hargrave, from the Eagles. Eagles lost a lot of players, literally a lot of players. They signed their quarterback, great. He's getting a lot of money, but it's a team football game. But when you lose, your defensive coordinator, you have to start over. The scheme will still be the same, still be a bit similar, but at the same time a little bit different. And when you lose a lot of players, they're also like the curse, the hangover. When you lose a Super Bowl, are they going to regress? The 49ers are going to win this game on the road. Doesn't matter if Brock Purdy's going to, get his, chance to play and, earn that victory, or if Trey Lance is going to be there. Whoever is playing at quarterback, doesn't matter. The Niners are going to go in there and we're going to make a statement. It's not a revenge game. We're going to make a statement that when we have a quarterback that's healthy, that can throw the football, the game will be very, very different. This is not a trap game. This is not, the Eagles are going to beat us because they're better. No, I think the Niners are going to come in. They're going to come in strong. They got that mentality, and we'll get the victory.
I hope so. I don't like the Eagles. What do you think, David?
I don't like the Eagles either. And I honestly think they had a great season last year because of how easy their schedule was. And then they knock our QB out, on the second drive, and they ended up winning that game. So at a certain point, well, they knocked 2 of our QBs out in that game, which I think that's pretty dirty. But yeah, I think they had a great season last season, and they're not going to be repeating that this season because now they have a real schedule. They'll be playing tough teams. And I think our players are pretty mad. They're looking to they're going to go into Philadelphia looking to prove something. We walk out of there with the W.
I agree with Little Spongy right now. He's obviously speaking facts. We're not losing this game. The Niners are not losing this game. I agree with you 100%. Raven, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna be unpopular here, guys. I'm gonna be on Spongy's side here. Philly did lose a good bit here. In free agency, they lost their running back Miles Sanders to the Panthers. They lost their right tackle Andre Dillard to the Titans, and of course, they lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Lions, as well as the underrated linebacker TJ Edwards to the Bears. Not to get on the Bears' dick anymore, but I mean, when you look at their free agency. Their running back, they brought in Rashad Penny, Boston Scott, and DeAndre Swift. Brought in 3 new running backs for that room. They got Jason Kelsey that came back. They re-signed Fletcher Cox. They re-signed Brandon Graham. They signed James Bradbury to a 3-year deal and Darius Slay to a 3-year deal. So they addressed the corner, then brought in Greedy Williams and Terrell Edmonds, the cornerback and safety, to reinforce it. And then on top of all of that, they nailed the draft. They got Jalen Carter first. Then they went and got Nolan Smith, 2 incredibly talented pass rushers. And then they went and got Tyler Steen, the right tackle from Bama. So they went and got their right tackle replacement. And I'd take Dillard's not that good of a right tackle, in my opinion. Steen's an admirable replacement. They just reloaded that team. Like, it's ridiculous, not even fair. And they still got cap money because this first-year deal for Jalen is that cap friendly. So they still might make some more moves, guys. I'm sorry, Niners coming away with an L on this East Coast trip.
No, that's why you're here. You're giving us an honest opinion, an analyst of the teams, a perspective from a different fan base. Again, it's bird time. It's bird season. So if you guys got your duck hunting guns out, if you need to go polish them, clean them, whatever you're doing, Seahawks are coming.
This is where, in my opinion, though, the Niners are going to start getting some payback.
So it's a good possibility, like one of these bird teams take us out, or all of them. Bird teams aren't necessarily the best for us. We've had some issues last year. Did anybody expect us to lose to the Falcons? No. So, or the Eagles, I think the Eagles, we could have said that was a 50-50 chance, deep, honest opinion, but I just wanted to see a complete game. We lost our quarterback. That wasn't, at that point, the game could have just been ended right there. But at least one of our quarterback got hurt. We should have ended it. But with the Seahawks coming to San Francisco, if we don't beat them in Seattle on Thursday, that Thanksgiving game, this is a blowout. They're not going to sweep us. I think there's a bigger possibility we sweep them, but they're not coming to Levi's to beat us, especially if they beat us in Thanksgiving. If we beat them in Thanksgiving, I see them potentially coming and beating us in Levi's because it's just kind of how sometimes it goes. But it depends. At this point in the season, there's a lot of injuries that could happen both ways. We got to see what our rosters look like. But if the Niners are healthy, I think at this point we're making the run. We're going into the gauntlet. We want to stay hot. I think that this is not going to be the Seahawks year. They definitely got better. They're going to be competitive, but I think the Niners are still. We're going to have the West this year. We're repeating as division champions. So let's go ahead. What do you think, Corey? What do you think about the Seahawks coming to Levi's?
Like I said, I think we're gonna sweep them birds. We're gonna pluck their feathers. We're gonna take Seahawks. We're gonna beat them. I have confidence in that. I don't have confidence in Geno Smith. So, he's a pretty good quarterback, but I see him struggling against our defense. I think we're plucking them sea chickens.
I agree. And Tommy's having fun with Spongy. Spongy's a good sport too. We know Spongy likes those. What are they? The Philadelphia Pigeons? No, the Eagles from Philly. That's right.
The Philadelphia Ratbirds.
John, what do you think about the Seahawks coming to Levi?
All right, so I think we're going to split against the Seahawks. I believe that it could, if we win the Thanksgiving game, we'll probably lose the Levi's game. But I think what makes sense, because no matter what team, any team that plays in Seattle, they have a tough time. Even when they win, it's tough to play in Seattle. They have a weird element out there. So at home, the Niners play really well at home in the last couple of years. I've never been to Levi's yet, but one of my brothers has been to the new stadium. I may go soon. I'm not sure this year, maybe the following year. But the atmosphere of the fans are energetic. Like, they're starting to bring that candlestick feel over there. And once you bring that feel that it was over there, so the Niners are starting to get that home field advantage in Levi's. It took a while. People are becoming more passionate out there. The Seahawks, when they played us last year, we destroyed them. It wasn't even a contest. I don't know what happened that game. So I think they'll have their home field advantage. We'll have our home field advantage, and we're gonna get the victory. And I think we may even get a special teams great play from one of our returners in that game.
Ooh, I like it. We've scored a punt return against Seattle. We've scored a touchdown return against Seattle, and that's been a very long time since we've scored against any other team. I think it was Ricky James, and I think it was Ted Ginn Jr. that did that. So yeah, if we could get some games, scores, returners, that'd be great. Really, how does a team win the championship? They have to have a special team, right? So, David, what do you think about the Seahawks?
This is the game where we get our revenge for the loss in Seattle. And we're going to be getting the buffalo sauce out, and we're going to have us some sea chicken wings. But I honestly see us winning this one by 2 scores at least, because we're not at Seattle. They're going to have to be contending with our fan base, and Geno Smith is still Geno Smith. He's not a top tier quarterback. I think the only reason why he had a good season last season is because of Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Those are 2 good wide receivers. But now we have a defensive coordinator that is a defensive backs coach. So I expect our defensive backfield to be better than last year.
I like it. Levi, what do you think?
Especially if Seattle somehow squeaks the victory at home in week 12, and then you go and lose in week 13 to Philly, you best bet you better have them barbecue grills ready outside Levi Stadium for week 14, because Bird is going to be on the menu. Bosa's going to be slapping his teammates around, hyping them up. If they lose in week 12, they're coming out for blood in week 14. I'm telling you. You mentioned something good too. At this point in the season, injuries is something you really got to keep an eye on. But I could definitely see the 49ers being aggressive at the trade deadline if there's any serious injury or just something they know. Like, hey, we got to get this done to get the Super Bowl. But Seattle's going to be a hard, man. Like I was talking with Joe, our Seahawks fan. It's not often you can say in the draft, you got the overall number 1 corner in the draft and the overall number 1 wide receiver in the draft. They got Devon Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois, as well as Jackson Smith in Jigba from Ohio State. Pair him with Lockett and Matt and DK, like, bro, like, that's scary. But I think week 14, Moody's putting him on for the win right there, at least.
Seattle got crazy good this year. I wish Joe was here to go over it a little bit more. We can break them down a little bit better, but you do great too, Levi. But Seattle, they have Jake Bobo. If that wide receiver makes the team, that guy is going to be there for a long time. I really truly believe it. If not, I hope the Niners, because right now I think they have
special teams.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where he's going to make his money then, right there. Special teams.
Yeah, I think he's going to make special teams. I would be very excited to see him get cut one year and the Niners be able to swoop on him. But if they cut him, why'd they cut him? He got injured or he's not good enough. So the Niners, man, we missed out on Jake. We really did. Jake Bobo was DTR's wide receiver down there in UCLA. Guy can catch, and we'll see. Special teams, if you can make a noise on special teams, then that can almost guarantee you a position on the roster. And from there, you can, look at Mostert. He was on special teams for such a long time, and then he finally got his opportunity. He got on the right team. It was like 6 teams later he got on to, and then, boom, money. So I hope we beat the Seahawks. I really do. So we're moving on. We're still bird hunting. So we're going on to our little brother, and they're coming to town because I think we went to Arizona to begin with. No, but now we're going to Arizona. All right. So the Niners are going to Arizona. This is a good game because it's not going to be so hot. It'll be, wintertime. It is in the stadium, but again, the Niners aren't going to be super hot. It's not super far for them to have to travel either. So I like this game. I really do. Kyler Murray should be back for this game, but again, if he's back at this time, how much chemistry does he have? How many times is he, what is he really doing in practice? So I think until the guy can come out and really, I don't even know if the guy can just put up a bunch of games and say, okay, there you are, that I'm legitimate now. I think he needs to put some seasons together because at this point, I think everybody knows he wants to play video games or play for the Oakland A's more than he wants to play for the Cardinals. So I still leave that front door out there too. I know we said the Falcons, but I think Kyler one day could land. He might be playing for the Las Vegas A's at one point. Let's say it like that because Oakland A's they don't have too many seasons left. So what's your thoughts on this one, Corey? I know we kind of went over them already, but they're a division opponent. We have to play them twice, and sometimes they get another crack at us, and it's a different look. So what do you think about the Cardinals?
Another win for the 49ers. We're going to beat them. We're going to sweep them. And that's all I got to say.
Love it. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I agree with Brian 100%. Even if Kyler Murray is back, like he'll probably be back like between 7 and 8 weeks uh, by this point, and he's not going to have mini camp or training camp or preseason. And when he does come back around week 7, week 8, which is he's projected, he's going to be rusty. He's going to be very, very rusty. I don't think he'll be as mobile. I don't know if he'll be wearing a brace. He's still going to be Kyler Murray. He'll be able to put some numbers. Just with that facts alone, the 49ers are going to win this game. We're going to win this convincingly. An ACL injury is an ACL injury. I don't care, what people say. Like, some people can come back in a year. Some people need 2 years for them to be back to normal. And I've never had an ACL injury, but I've had a friend of mine who was a track runner. He had an ACL injury. He was never the same.
What do you think, David? What's your
I
thoughts
think
on
this is
Arizona
Kyler Murray's season coming back from the ACL, and you're never actually, your first season back, it's not necessarily all the way there. So was the second season. But, at this point, I think he's, just getting back into game shape. He's, got some games under his belt. Mobile quarterbacks are a thorn in our side, but the Cardinals are rebuilding, and right now they're talent depraved. I do not see him beating us. We are sweeping them red chickens.
Red chickens. It's so funny when you say it.
So what do you think, Darwin? Is it going to be a barbecue event? Are you a spicy kind of guy? Are you like more like, I kind of like sometimes a little bit of honey in my barbecue sauce. I like sweet and tangy. I gotta tell you, I just gotta try it. Like if it's too hot, I'll tell you, I gotta go to the next one. But when I make wings or we make chicken and stuff, we have multiple different barbecue sauces because everything's finger looking good if you do it right, right?
Yeah, I've traveled a good bit. I like a little bit of different, barbecue sauces. Of course, we got the Carolina mustard based, got more of that KC vinegar. I like to mix my sauces. I don't know if y'all got a Missions barbecue out there. I mix a little bit of smoky with a little bit of Memphis Belle with a little bit of Tupelo honey. So a little bit of Cajun with a little bit of Memphis with a little bit of smoky Colorado. And that's some good barbecue. I'm a big garlic Parmesan man, though. I like my garlic parm. As for the Cardinals, I think y'all are going to sweep them. I don't think Kyler Murray's that guy. As y'all mentioned with that ACL injury, a lot of times that first year back, they're very hesitant to bend that leg, which can lead to more accuracy problems. I still think there's a small shot he goes to Atlanta, but I'm looking over his contract. Very interesting thing to note, guys. After 2024, a lot of his money is tied to roster bonuses, meaning if he's not on the roster, he's not owed that money. Like I'm talking like 50. He's got $52.7 million in roster bonuses on that contract. So after 2024, if he's not on the Cardinals, they don't owe. I mean, they'll still owe him like $30 million, but they'll also be out or save over $40 million. So I think y'all sweep the Cardinals. I think y'all are gonna be loaded up with the buckshot or the bird shot heading to whatever. Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah, shout out to Tommy. He's a cook. He's a chef. He can probably do it all. And if we get an opportunity, one day we might have a fat barbecue. Maybe go up there to like San Francisco, Golden Gate Park, and give us a nice spot. Maybe Tommy can come up there and cook some meat or something for us. But
we got to do it in week 16, my guy.
That actually might be a good idea. Let's move on to our next game. I want to start out with Levi, and then we'll just go backwards. We'll go Levi, then we'll go David, John, Corey, and then we'll finish with me.
Homer. You're going to be Homer.
So sometimes you got to save the best for last, or you got to start out with the best, right? So let's bring up.
Yeah. I actually want to hear Levi. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's bring up the Poe. The Poe is here.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
Don't you hate on Poe? We gonna throw hands. We're throwing hands.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just looks so
What
funny.
in the
looking.
heck is? Oh,
It looks
that,
so
that, that
funny
looks like
looking.
a
The beak is too
cartoon
big.
character.
You can make fun of my mascot.
So
Hey,
Raven,
hit on Poe.
Levi,
He tore his ACL. He's coming back from injury.
yeah, we play the Ravens. It's gonna finish up our bird hunt. I would hope we could win this game. This game's on Christmas, I believe.
It is,
And
actually.
it would be great to
Got
have.
the 8 o'clock game on Christmas.
Oh man, I'd love to go to a game like this, but family, that's not going to happen. But this game is going to be cold. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I want to hear what you got to say, Levi. What do you think? The Niners versus the Ravens. It's ooh, what do you got?
I don't have a lot of family anymore. Me and my partner don't have kids yet. These tickets are only $180 for the cheap seats right now. Boy, might be in the Bay Area for Christmas. But I'm sorry, 49er fans. I cannot endorse you taking the W here. You're going to take an L for my Ravens. I'm Levi, Darwin's Ravens, coming to Levi's Stadium to stamp the L for you. I think this is going to be a slugfest. I'm so excited to watch Todd Monken's new offense. I was doing some more reading on what to expect out of that offense, because no one really knows yet. I think actually the difference in this game is going to be our passing game. I think with our deep tight end room and our wide receivers, we're going to kind of walk away from you.
Hello.
He's muted. You're muted, Tony.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry. Yeah, I got fancy with the click, and my bulldog in the background started barking. You might hear him right now. We got some family members who showed up, and when he sees the family, he gets excited. Darwin, thank you for the analogy. The Ravens are a scary team to me. I'm gonna say that's my 75-25% game. I'm not gonna say it's a full 50-50 game. That game out of the schedule scares me. So out of the bird teams, you're the scariest one we face. I'm a little nervous with the Eagles, but I think that's more of a 50-50 game. I think it's the Ravens is just one of those teams that since you guys beat us in the championship, the Super Bowl, the Niners haven't kind of really like bounced back. And maybe it's the Harbaugh mentality. Maybe, I don't know. It's just you guys got, Roman, Greg Roman over there. He knew how to beat us and, how we played. And it's just one of those things. So I like that. But David, what do you have to say about the Ravens? And what do you think?
I got this listed as an L, but there's an asterisk by that. Will Lamar Jackson actually be playing? Because, when he's running the ball, he takes hits. And, him, a running quarterback like him, staying healthy in the NFL, it's a stretch. So if Lamar Jackson's playing and he's healthy, yeah, I don't see us winning this game because we have an issue with mobile quarterbacks. But if he's not, if we got who's your backup, Levi?
Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, former Green Bay Packer. So if Tyler Huntley's playing, he's not as good. He's not as good as Lamar Jackson, and we'll take the W. But I have it right now listed as an L because they're starting quarterback.
Huntley's been with us forever. He was.
I should say the highest paid running back in the NFL that occasionally can throw a ball.
Yeah, I really I really do like Lamar, but he's got to become a quarterback. And I know that's kind of hard to say. We kind of have similar situation with Lance. We want him to be the quarterback, not a running back. So, John, what do you think about the Ravens?
So this is how I see this game when it comes to the Ravens. In 2019, during Lamar Jackson's MVP year, the Niners played really well, and we could have won that game. Jimmy needed 1 yard to get the first down, and then they got short field. We had no timeouts. They ran the clock down. They kicked the field goal at the end of the game. It was a good game. Great game the Niners played on the road against a really good team. But one thing that, again, I know a Baltimore Ravens fan. He's a homer, but he always says this, like, since that MVP year, Lamar hasn't been who, you know, that quarterback in 2019. Last year he got hurt, which really hurt the Ravens. They got a new coordinator. I don't know what the new system is going to be. Maybe after I give you my analysis, Darwin can explain how the new system is going to look with the new coordinator. But I think the 49ers can win this game. I'm not being a homer. I do think that whoever the quarterback is, we just have too many weapons on offense. The defense has got better. The secondary, got a good coordinator. Steve Wilkes, I heard him speak yesterday on the press conference. Very smart guy. Our defensive line is much better than it was, even though we had a really good defensive line. Our linebackers are really good, are really, really good. And so this is going to be probably one of the most toughest games. I think this is going to be like when the Harbaugh brothers were, playing. It's going to be a very defensive game on both sides. The offenses are going to have trouble, and it's going to probably be a low-scoring game, probably less than like 35 points. Not the Niners are going to win this, and it's going to be the defense winning the game for the 49ers. That's how I see this game, and we're going to win. I think that the Niners are going to figure out a way to contain them. Steve Wilkes is not the traditional Robert Saleh, D'Amico. He's a secondaries guy, so they're going to use a lot of different formations from the backfield to neutralize the run. So that's my thoughts, how I see this game. So we'll get this W.
Awesome. I'll have you bust back in and tell us a little bit and expand on what John said, and then we're going to get to Corey.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's not going to be it's not going to be a gimme game. This is going to be a slugfest. This is going to be a great game on Christmas Day. In regards to Todd Monken's new offense, one of the things I'm so excited for. Now, Lamar's still going to get his chances to run. People don't realize Stetson Bennett was tied for Georgia's touchdowns rushing, like I think 8 or 10 last season. A lot of it comes in the red zone, though, and a lot of it is like a lot safer runs. But Todd Monken ran shotgun or pistol 84% of the snaps. And when you think of Georgia and that running team, you don't think about that. But he runs an air raid power run style, which I'm ecstatic for. Something y'all know with Greg Roman. Greg Roman, I don't know if with y'all, but with us, never ran any screen. We were like one of the worst teams in the league at screen attempts. Monken runs a lot of screens, and he likes to incorporate a lot of tight in cap screens into the backside designs of the plays, basically. A lot of people know Darnell Washington, the tight end that got drafted by the Steelers. But their first string tight end, Brock Powers, he's going to be probably a first-round pick now last year. If you look at his numbers, 63 catches, 942 yards, and 7 touchdowns last year. Won the Mackey Award for best tight end in football in college football last year. And now he's got Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely as his 2 weapons for receiving. This offense could be scary. It could be, and it's what they said. Lamar has taken a step back since that MVP season, but when you look at the whole picture between Greg Roman never designing past high school level passing concepts, and then the horrible injury year followed by the wide receiver injuries last year, it's hard to judge Lamar. But at the same time, the critique, you got to be honest with. He did not perform no matter what. You want to see him step up. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be exciting.
So real quick before I give the floor to Corey, the one thing I have to say about Greg Roman and the screen passes is kind of hard for the 49ers to, you know, do that if we got like somebody like Alex Smith throwing dirt balls, you know, to Frank Gore's feet, or somebody like Kaepernick throwing it so hard that the guys can't catch it. It seemed like the only person Kaepernick could throw the ball to was Crabtree. And you know, we know what happened in the Super Bowl 4 times. You know, we know you don't come on. You give the ball to somebody and let them run it in. But Corey, what do you think about the Ravens? What's your thoughts? You like them, love them? You like Poe? You want me to bring that back up?
Okay, so you know, at first, I on my show, I had this. First, I said we gonna lose because I thought it was gonna be a short week, but then y'all corrected me. John Jay and everybody corrected me. I said no, it's gonna be a long week. So then I changed my mind. I said the 49ers gonna win to beat the Ravens. But I'm not confident in that because we got trouble with mobile quarterbacks. And yes, Lamar is a good mobile quarterback. And I compare him to how he runs to how Colin Kaepernick runs. But like y'all did change our offensive coordinator. So we're gonna see a little difference. Let's see if Lamar can learn, you know, a new system.
I actually have, whenever you're ready, I actually have one more thing about that.
Yeah, jump in if Corey's finished. You go ahead and finish it
I
out.
finished. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're actually going to be changing the offensive call system. They're going to be doing a lot. So another thing that Todd Monken's known for that, again, Greg Roman never did, no huddle. There's going to be a lot more no huddle, a lot more up tempo. They're going to a signal system. So Lamar will like be relaying some calls probably just to him in the offensive line, but the receivers will be receiving like signal calls from different coaches on the sidelines and stuff to speed it all up because the Ravens had a serious problem with getting their play calls in, and the amount of delay of game, was ridiculous. So we're really excited for that. And with that tight end screen, Todd Monken in Georgia, Bennett, his quarterback, threw 100 screens out of his like 400 passes. Only 6 bowl division quarterbacks threw more screen passes than him. Most of those went to the wide receivers and tight ends, not halfbacks. And of that, 21 of those went to that first string tight end, which was by far the most in college football of any team. So Mark Andrews is going to be getting some screen passes.
I have you go down and let him in.
So that's gonna be a good game. Good game. There's gonna be at least 3 or 4 games that we're gonna be able to definitely sit on the edge of our seats. There's gonna be some games I think we can sit back, but don't sit back too far and get comfortable like we did against the Bears or the Falcons. Or I mean, those are the 2 games I like really. It's like, oh my god, like we lost those 2 games. I can see the
Um,
Chiefs game. I understand that one, but oh my. So okay, we'll finish.
Brian, can I say one more thing before we move on?
Yes, sir.
To back what Levi said, something about hurrying up the offense, hurrying up. But you know who tried to come bring that into the NFL, and he failed. He tried to do it with the Eagles. He tried to do it with us, the 49ers.
Oh no!
Um,
I know where you're going.
Chip Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah, he tried.
They're running that style of offense.
Now I got nightmares.
he was trying to bring that where they hurry up, where all the coaches on the sidelines calling the plays for the wide receivers and etc. So
I will say
I hope it worked for y'all.
Oh man, whatever.
at Georgia, they saw man very rarely. So if you want to beat the Ravens wide receivers and Todd Monken's offense, you're going to have to play man. Out of all the snaps Georgia saw, only a quarter were man offense. So 3/4 of the time, he was calling zone beating offensive play call concepts. So he is very well versed in beating zone defenses. So you got to be able to lock up and man up. It's probably going to be the way to counter that offense.
And some things are just better in college than it is in the pros. Like Pete Carroll was a good coach in college for a long time. He didn't have the best success. You know, he was a New England coach. Then he went to Seattle. He started doing better there. Same
You know,
with
Todd Monken, Odell's last 1,000-yard season came under Todd Monken when he was the offensive coordinator for Cleveland. He's also the former Tampa Bay Buccaneers coordinator as well. So he's got a lot of NFL experience as well.
So I want to say this quickly, and then we'll move on as fast as possible. So Chip Kelly, when he was in Oregon, you know, he never huddled. Every play back on the line. Every play back on the line. It works in college because you can run like 115 plays if you want to in college. It's a more quicker game, more faster. In the NFL, there's a reason why coaches plan between 60 and 75 plays, and they sometimes never do 75 plays because the game is a little bit more slower and it's a little bit more physical. So that's why Chip Kelly didn't work, you know, in Philadelphia. He also had like a weird like system where, like, you know, on Monday you do this, Tuesday you do that, yada yada. It didn't work. It doesn't work.
He had too big of an ego.
So I'm not saying your coordinator is going to be like that extreme, but at the end of the day, like, hopefully, you know, like you said, he has pro experience, so he knows how the pro game works. But he can't be doing that hurry up because he will tire out the offense, and then the defense will just exploit that.
Yeah, but a lot of these high tempo, like you look at Brady, you look a lot of Aaron Rodgers, you look a lot of these guys, they know when to turn up the tempo of the offense because there's no huddle, there's up tempo, quick tempo, 2 minute, 4 minute. There's a lot of different speeds at which you can game plan, and that's something. Greg Roman, like I said, we took too many delay of games. Lamar was screaming at the sideline almost every game for the play because he was just taking that long and doing too many formation changes. Sean McVay, when he had his best years, he actually kept this like basically down to only 3 to 4 formations, but he did a very good job of planning a lot of different looks like from the same formation basically. So it was very simple for his quarterback, but also had enough complexity to make it in the NFL basically.
Well, that we're give you a couple minutes after we're done with the last two teams, Levi, and then you can give us your breakdown of the Ravens. They're, you know, like a quick breakdown of your prediction season. So the Commanders, the Washington team, they don't have a mascot, so I'm going to bring this up real quick, and then we'll talk about them. Week 17, day 12th, the 31st, New Year's Eve, we are playing the Commanders. So I think this game could be a toss-up. It's one of those games where the Commanders have a good defense, and I think it would really just go down to, you know, who's healthy at this point. And I think if we come in healthy, this should be a win for the Niners. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders are fighting for a playoff spot in this week. So that's what I got, and I'll give it to you, Corey. What do you think?
This game, I did come down and say that we'll probably lose this game. I think we're going to come high off to beat the Ravens. And we don't overlook this game and lose this game. So I have us losing this game. But we could win because we don't really know about their starting quarterback. And that could be a surprise too. Don't have that much film on him. Might not have that much film on him to beat him.
Yeah, good point. Good point. All right, John, we're going to pass it to you real quick. And then what do you think about the Commanders?
So when it comes to the Commanders, like, it's so funny how we're playing the Commanders around the same time last year. So that's a little bit of a coincidence. I'm going to buy me a lottery ticket. Never mind. So last year the Commanders gave us a scare. They gave us a scare, like 2.5 quarters. It was a really good game, and then Carson Wentz became Carson Wentz, and then they had to put Heineke, and Heineke, wasn't doing anything better. And Sam Howell, who I may be biased, for him because what I saw in his draft stuff, his college career, I like him, but I'm not saying he's gonna elevate the team. I think he will be more. He's gonna be more careful than Carson Wentz. I think with Bieniemy now as their coordinator, now you have a good offensive coach. You got this kid with a lot of upside. Ron Rivera's defense is still going to be dangerous. Last year, we beat them. I think it was like a lopsided score, but we blew them out. And this game is another trap game. We're coming off a good stretch. With Philadelphia, the Seahawks game. We beat the Cardinals. I got a projection of beating the Ravens. So you just like I told everyone, you can't go 17-0. It would be wonderful to go 17-0, but I think that this is gonna get the game that's gonna, like, just before we go to the playoffs, it's gonna hit us in the mouth. This is gonna be the game that's like gonna wake us up, boom, and everyone's like, we're gonna win this game, and then this is gonna be like that Atlanta Falcons game in 2019 where we're supposed to beat them, and then they just punched us in the mouth in the final seconds of the game. I see this game as our second true loss. Our second true loss of the season. It's going to be a very, very close game, and the kicker of the Commanders, he is going to be the reason why they win. So this is the wake up game for us as we enter the playoffs. So we will lose this game.
Love it, I really do. David, what do you think about the Washington Commanders?
I think they played us really tough last season, and the big question mark is Sam Howell, their quarterback. I think he needs more playing time, and this whole season is going to be him getting that playing time. So I could see their defense playing us tough because Ron Rivera always has a good defense. But we're going to be winning this game. And I honestly think it's going to be a hair closer than last year. I think our kicker is going to be hitting a game winner.
I like it. Levi, what do you think of the Commanders?
It could be a trap game. John Jay was saying, y'all had a close game with them last year. If y'all are already a lock for the playoffs, a lot of times in these last 2 to 3 games before the playoffs, especially if you're already locked or have your division or whatever it is, you don't really game plan for these guys much. You don't give them the attention that you might be like. At this point, you might already be looking at your first opponent in the playoffs, and which is sometimes why you might lose those games late. It might be closer. You got to be careful, though. You cannot get your quarterback hurt here. The Commanders have some really good pass rushers, and they loaded up in the draft their first 2 picks with one of the best ball hawks in the draft, in Emmanuel Forbes, the Mississippi State kid. And then they went and got Jartavius Martin, another defensive back. So they went and helped that secondary, which they've always had the pass rush. They just had no one behind it. So that defense might be a little scary. The offense, the wide receivers intrigue me. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dodson, and Curtis Samuel, pretty solid starting 3. But Sam Howell, I don't think he's anything more than a game manager. I think 49ers come away with the win here, though, but it might be a scary game.
Yeah, I got heartburn just thinking about it. I really do. It was a very close game. It's been a close game a couple years. If you guys go back to the rain game or the tsunami game, the mud bowl or whatnot, that was decided by field goals too. I think we shut them out. I think it was like 9-0 or something like that. But still, the Commanders are a tough team. They are almost more blue collar than the Giants at this point. You think of a team that's tough. You think of a blue collar team, somebody that goes to work, puts their head nose down, and just grinds, right? Well, the Redskins, maybe they got a red collar. I'm not sure, but I'm not a Redskins. I apologize again. They're not the Redskins. I don't like calling them the Washington Commanders. I'm just going to try my hardest to continue to call them the Washington team because I think that's a better name than the Commanders. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
They might be
Also,
we're gonna move-
revitalized with a new owner too.
Yeah. Also, even if Sam Howell, they got Jacoby Brissett, and he's a underrated. He's also a really good game manager. So, they got a young prospect, which a lot of question marks. I'm not saying he's the guy in the next decade that's going to make him good. And Jacoby Brissett, and of course, Bieniemy, very good offensive guy. I think that's one thing about Ron Rivera. He needs an offensive coordinator because he's not a offensive guy. So that's why I think they might be a surprise team this season. But at the end of the day, in 2019, when we made it to the Super Bowl, when we lost to the Falcons, who saw that happening? So there's always that game in the schedule that we don't see that, we're going to win. And guess what happens?
About that with Bieniemy, they really could be the sneak team. Actually, that's all. I'm telling you, that wide receiver core. The reason it intrigues me, that wide receiver core has got a lot of speed, like a lot of speed.
Mhm.
Well, again, I apologize if my mic's off a little bit. It might be popping a little bit more than Rice Krispie treats. So I don't know. We're gonna fix this out. I'm going to my cable provider after this. I'm gonna upgrade my Xfinity because I don't like the glitching and I don't like the pausing. I like everybody being able to hear and see everybody and it be able to stream. And I have a pretty good internet, but I just think maybe if I go get a little bit better or see what they can do. Yeah, I'm hard-lined, so I don't know. Sometimes it's glitching, and I did put a new mic in, so I don't know. Maybe the mic got dropped. I don't know, but it's glitching a little bit, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go to our last team real quick, and then we'll give it back to you, Levi, and you give us your analyst. Everybody, just let me know W or L. We've already kind of analyzed this team. They're that team that we don't really think about until we have to play them, right? So I would like to say that this is a win for us to clout the season, but this could be one of those games that we already got the division locked up, and it really doesn't mean anything to us. This could be their Super Bowl again. So that's what I think. I think we don't sleep on them. We finish the season strong, but it's the Rams. What do you think, Corey?
Hey, there's Aaron's up in the chat. What up? Stevo Supremo, Tommy.
Yep. What's up, everybody?
What's up, Aaron?
I forgot to put this in about the Ravens. I want to hire Lamar Jackson's mom as my agent so she can negotiate my wage with my employer.
Not only will she negotiate you a higher wage, she'll cook you the best damn chicken you've ever had in your life, and then give you back scratches afterwards.
So Rams. We're gonna win, and yes, it could be a game where we not really caring, because we might already have our division won. But if we don't, or we try to fight for the first seed of the division, then we might play our starters. So I won't say we'll beat the Rams, because we beat the Rams with Nick Mullins as our quarterback, so we could do it again with a backup quarterback. Is it John Jay turn?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
It's my
finished.
turn. Very, very simple. We're going to win because for whatever the reason in the regular season, we beat them. I don't know why. I don't know how. I joked around before. Maybe Kyle has a playbook for Sean McVay that he only uses for McVay. So we win, So very simple. A W for the win.
All right, so this is our second time herding them sheep. And, at this point, I'm going to say our backups could probably beat the Rams because of how much talent they have. So It's at Levi's. Sean McVay came back for one more season, and it more than likely will be his final season with the Rams because they're not doing anything this year. And we're going to send them out the right way with the L. Oh, Mike, your mic's muted, Bryant. Nope, still can't hear you.
That's weird.
Is it muted?
There we go. Now we can hear you.
There we
Okay.
go. There we go.
Yeah, it was weird. It didn't say it was muted, but we
All right,
couldn't hear
perfect. I guess I turned the volume down. I guess I have multiple places I can turn the volume down. I guess it helps when you actually read the package when you pull something out and plug it in. Who knew I needed to read the Spanish part too, right? I love it. I really do. Darwin, what do you think of the sheep?
I mean, in Colorado, you're allowed to go sheep hunting. You got big horns. I think again, y'all are gonna just. I don't know why he came back. He's just there for the money. I'm looking over this roster, and I'm just like, what talent other than Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, from my knowledge, has lost a step. They made a bunch of trades. They got a lot of young players in the draft, and I'm really excited to watch them. And I expect this team's going to have a lot of rookies contributing early. But, bro, I got no clue what they're doing here. I think this could be a blowout for the Niners. I think that at this point they're just going to be giving them as many of those rookies as many snaps as they can give them, basically.
I agree. I think at the end of the season, if the Rams don't have anything to play for, the only thing they'll be playing for is pride. And if the players aren't unified or together in that locker room, if they're fighting, then they're not playing for pride. So the only way I see the Rams will win this game is if they're still together, they still got their heads together. But if at any time, like I think David was saying, if McVay decides to cut ship or let everybody know he's not coming back the next season, why are you going to try hard at the end of the year? You're still getting your check. You show up, you line up, you go. Raven, Darwin, let's hear your thoughts on your season prediction. If you could do it pretty quick for us, that'd be great. We have been here for about 2.5 hours, and I appreciate everybody watching and having fun, everybody on the panel. But before you start, let me throw out one more dad joke for everybody because I know we love our jokes. And I really appreciate everybody for coming. So here's my joke. It's coming in. Loaded now. What happens to football players who go blind?
They become
They
referees.
become referees. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Raven, if you
I
could
love
give
how
us your
Corey
break-
just knew.
Oh, Corey, good. I had to read it.
He didn't even have to look. He just closed his eyes. He can say it. Raven, what's your guys' breakdown? Who are you playing real quick, and what do you think your overall season prediction will be?
I think we're gonna end up 12-5. We opened the season with the Houston Texans, one of the teams I'm so excited to see. With the new coaching staff, all the new rookies, young franchise quarterback. We go at Cincy versus Indy, at Cleveland, at Pittsburgh. So we got our early stretch of divisional games. I think Cleveland, we're going to mollywop. I think Pittsburgh, we're going to mollywop. The Colts are a joke. The Bengals that's going to be a slugfest every time we play them. We've got a London game this season, so we're going to London to play the Tennessee Titans, where we're going to put a show on. Man, catch me, guys. That's going to be a 9:30 a.m. game here on the East Coast, I think. So your boy's going to be up at 9 o'clock streaming on week 6 in October. Then we head to Detroit. Versus Detroit, at Arizona, and then versus Seattle. That West Coast trip to Seattle is going to be a little bit rough. But then versus Seattle. So I'm sorry, Seattle's coming to us. So sorry for Joe. I was trying to get Joe to come go to Baltimore game with me. We host 3 games at home though: Seattle, Cleveland, Cincy. So that's great. We catch the Chargers
and then we get our bye week, week 13. Like I said, most of these I'm predicting wins. The only losses I see coming on the board, I could maybe see us losing at Levi's Stadium to the 49ers. I could see us actually, sadly, possibly losing both games to the Bengals. And I'm throwing one game in there just to be loose, basically. But maybe at Jacksonville in a surprise game at the end of the season. But 12-5 for my Baltimore Ravens, or was it 12-4?
I like that. That sounds pretty solid, especially if Lamar can come in. Guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. We're not jumping around or away just yet. Let's go around the table, tell everybody what you got going on for the week. I'm going to throw my dad joke in last, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the rest of our day. I might have to go mow my yard. Definitely have to look at it, and we'll see how tall the grass is compared to the bulldog. If he's hidden, then I got to mow it. But Corey, thanks for coming back from your vacation. I appreciate all the videos and the talk. It sounded like you had a lot of good food down there, and then your show the other night was really good. I tried to hear it as much as I could. So what do you got going on the rest of this week, and what do you got going on today?
Well, today, that's why when I get finished with it, I gotta go straight down. I gotta go let these people look in the downstairs house, let them in. Tomorrow, I'm doing the results show at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm doing the results of our trivia. That's Thursday. And that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Everybody make sure you go check out tomorrow's show in the evening, after you said hello to your mom or, giving her, some loving, and join Corey for the results show. So it sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. Mr. John Jay, the Ultimate 49er Report, 49ers Ultimate Report. All right, Corey, thank you for coming. You have a great day.
You too.
John, what do you got going on?
So just like always, thanks for having me on, Brian. It's always an honor coming on your show, your platform. So appreciate you always letting your audience know to check out my channel. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something a little bit fun, a little something different. If anyone has time, I know tomorrow is Mother's Day. I want to point that out. I actually got to just realize I got to go pick mom, first time in 4 years. I haven't seen my mom. So, got to go see my mom 4 years. So be always cherishable that sometimes you don't have that relationship. Some people don't have that. So I'm going to go see her. I'm going to give her something, so got to do that. But tomorrow on my show, I'm going to do maybe like a 1 o'clock West Coast time, and bring in a panel for about an hour and talk the draft, talk the schedule, hang out for a little bit. If anyone has time, I know everyone's gonna be busy, so that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna do more call-in shows in the off season so we can talk either Saturday or Sunday. Hang out. Because there's not much to talk about. And then I'm gonna go on Corey's show tomorrow, and he's gonna tell me how I did on the trivia. And then after that, I'm gonna take a week off. Because I got a couple of job interviews, got a family stuff I got to deal with. So once I take care of all of that stuff, I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Well, the weekend shows sound like fun, and hopefully everything goes good with your job interviews. And family is always important. That's the first thing that comes. David McNiner, what do you got going on? You going to see your mom tomorrow? What do you got going on today?
I'm actually going up there. I'm actually going up there today to tune up some lawnmowers. And something to see. She said that her car's running funny, although I can never find anything wrong with it. So I gotta, of course, look at that just because she wants me to. And spend some time with her. Maybe go get a Subway sandwich, for the both of us. And then because she's very religious, so she likes to go to church on Sunday and be left alone pretty much. So and then tomorrow I'll be on the Corey Davis's award show, of course, And then we got don't you stream in the morning there, Bryant?
Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow morning. I'll let everybody know here in a second about that.
Okay. So I'll be watching Bryant tomorrow morning, of course, and then I'll be on with Corey Davis in the afternoon. We got the Bryant Culp and David McNiner show on Monday, and we got Johnny C, which I'm sure Bryant's about to talk about too. And then, you know, if it ends fast enough, I'll swing over to the round check and be on with CG. And then later on in the week, we got the Corey Davis trivia show. So that's what we're looking at. I don't know if we're doing a No Border Sports hangout on Friday due to his work schedule and what he has going on, but we'll see.
But here you go.
Go ahead, Darwin, Levi, Raven, our Baltimore friend.
I mean, I haven't really had much going on. You know, family's important, so I'm trying to get home as well. It's been a few years since I've seen my mother. My stepdad just passed away, a huge New England guy, and
man.
it's a rough situation because, you know, he kind of supported my mom and everything is in his name, and we think the daughter's kind of coming to take the house, come take everything, and so trying to figure out what to do for her and everything, and then, you know, I've got school and work and that I'm trying to get started as well, so that's why I haven't been around, guys. I've just had a lot going on, and one of my old football friends, I think, had some baby mama issues, and I think he kind of took his own life recently as well. Haven't been able to go back for that either. But enough of the sad part. But I'm hoping to get back to streaming here soon, guys. I'm trying. I'm just I'm trying to plan a lot. But I love dropping into y'all shows. I'm sorry I haven't been around as much.
No, life happens. We appreciate you coming. I can speak for everyone here. I know Corey as well. We appreciate you coming. When you make the trivia shows, I know we're talking Niner. If you make it often, I'm sure Corey will start dropping Raven questions to you. You bring in insight of different teams. We all appreciate that. And, you know, you're just one of those friends of the team. You know, you might root for Baltimore, but we don't really look too hard at that purple. You know, we appreciate we appreciate the red beard. You know, it makes us like a sourdough, right? But no, you're always welcome.
I'm gonna dress up one day as y'all's mascot. I'm not even gonna lie. Just have a good laugh. I'm gonna.
You see,
I think I got a good yellow towel actually that could work as an ascot.
See, Darwin, like I know, like my words and comments, you know, won't mean a lot. You know, like, you know, sorry about, you know, your passing. You know, I had back to back, you know, many years in a row losing loved ones. I lost a bunch of loved ones in 2022. It's not fun. So I've been there. So I'll be thinking about you. Hopefully everything's good. I've had the same issues. I got a bunch of friends who have that issues as well. That's life for us. Sometimes we forget that. And, you know, we're all human. And that's why I always say this to everyone. I respect you. I will always respect everybody, because at the end of the day, one day they're going to need our help, and we'll be the only person that will be there for us. So I got your back anytime you need. Take as much time as you want. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, we do appreciate those words, John. It's a community. Even though you're not a red and gold, you're still part of the community. We appreciate you. David, I'm really sorry. We're about ready to end the show. I'd have you come on. You're a great guest of the panel, a great guest of the show, a good friend, but we're just about ready to end it. So me and David are doing shows on Mondays, depending on everybody's schedule, because we were reaching out across the nation, across the empire. You know, it's one of those things. If somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I'd like to do a show with you and David, we're going to get you on, because it's just a little bit of a smaller panel where we can break it down and have a little bit more words to say. Or maybe there's times where you're just going to be talking the whole time and me and David are going to be listening. So we've had people reach out to us and asked us, hey, can I come on? So I've been scheduling people. Everybody here, just hold tight. We're going to get you an invitation here soon. There's several weeks, but we only have one Monday in each week. So sometimes we're going to be more than likely going 5:15. That's about the time I get home from work, California time. But sometimes, you know, our guests might have to have us come on a little later. So we are going to have Johnny Cesari. He's very knowledgeable about the 49ers. He's going to give us this in-depth breakdown of the team. Me and David will be going over that. But that show, I believe, is going to be a 6 or 6:30 show because of his time schedule. And then the following week, we're having Jay and the Bay come on, and that show will be, I believe, a 7:30 start. So just keep your eyes out for the notifications. Me and David will be doing groups and guests on Mondays. Saturday shows are like this. It's coffee in the morning with Bryant and the guys. Sunday shows, I am going to continue to try to do this, but sometime I'm going to have to reach out to some guests that can't make it necessarily on the weekdays or on me and David's show. So tomorrow I'm having Platform come on with my wife Tony and his boys. And if there's an opportunity, I'll bring on some panel guests as well. But we're going to go over a couple things with Platform. Lawrence, if you guys haven't subscribed to Platform 246, please go check him out. He does a great show. He does watch-alongs. He does call-ins. He does all kinds of stuff. He's worked with a lot of our great friends, No Borders, Wolf, so many great content creators out there. So I'm really looking forward to being able to work with him and talk to him about some stuff. 49ers, and maybe go over a little life stuff too, because it is going to be Mother's Day. So I'm hoping we'll have some good Mother's Day jokes. And again, I'm going to sit here really and smile and let my wife talk to Platform and his sons, because I would like to get her a little bit more involved in the channel. My wife Tony's got a channel as well. And if you guys haven't heard, or maybe I'm being the first to say it, this Thursday, she will be having her first all women's panel, 49er girls, the ladies of the empire. So tune into that. It's going to be on her channel at 5:15, I believe, Thursday. And I believe she's going to go every week. It might be every 2 weeks, but she's going to have a great guest on. That's going to be basically the same panel, but she's going to sometimes have, girls that might not be able to make it. So someone might pop in that you haven't seen before. But if you haven't seen Crystal Peachy Crystal, she's from Nothing But Niners, the Wayne Breezy show. She's great. She's super great. She's a Niner fan, Laker fan. Super great. We got Niner Jess from East Coast Red and Gold. She's great. Bex from East Coast Red and Gold. She's coming. We have Dina Harvey, who you guys all know from Corey Davis's show. She's going to be part of the panel. We have Gina repping the Bay. She has her own channel as well. She's going to be part of the group. So it's just going to be an awesome group. There's always going to be room for other girls to come on. So again, it's Bex, it's Jess, it's Crystal, it's Dina, and it's Tony for this week. It's going to be a great show, and we're going to go from there. But again, if something doesn't happen, maybe on Friday or something, we can find out from No Borders. Maybe we'll do something on this show. Me and David could do something, or all of us will just keep an ear out. Everybody keep your eyes out and notifications on. Please like and subscribe to all of our channels here. We got Raven. He has a great channel. Again, he doesn't always talk Ravens. He talks football. So if you want to hear, someone else's analyst that's not Did
he freeze up? Or is it just me?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose him again?
I think he froze up. Yeah, if you ever want to bring me onto a channel, guys, you can always find me on Twitter, Darwin's Raven 20. Oh,
Yeah,
you're back.
There you go. You're back, Bryant. You're back.
Oh, he's back.
This is why I'm going to Xfinity right after this, because again, I'm hardwired, and sometimes my jokes take a second to get out. I say I got a big tongue, and it gets caught up in my mouth. So with that, let's give the last dad joke, and we'll get out of here. Everybody, keep your eyes out for all of our channels, and please like and subscribe. Once I get to 100, we're going to do a cup giveaway. So I'm at 81 right now. We're pushing. If you like the content, you like everyone here, or if you just like one or two of us and you can help, it's free. Hit the subscribe button. Last dad joke, and we're getting out of here, guys. What's the difference between a man's wallet before and after kids? There are pictures where money used to be. So, I mean, that's one of those things, it's like there's only so much money. You get a kid, there's only so much money. You get another kid, there's that much money. Then you get another kid, there's that much money. So, yeah, single guys and family guys, everyone's wallet's different, but that's funny. I thought that was really funny. My daughter come up to me and said, "Dad, you tell good jokes. Some of them I laugh at."
Mhm.
I was like, "Wow, thanks, Lily." But she's funny too, So again, thanks to everybody coming. Appreciate y'all, and hopefully get to see you tomorrow. And if you're not on the show tomorrow, that's fine. Hopefully you can hug your mom. Tell her happy Mother's Day. That's more important. But with that, guys, thank you very much for coming. Go Niners. Levi, I know you're going to say go Ravens. That's not a problem, but say it proudly.
Yeah.
Nation, go Ravens.
Appreciate
Go Niners and F the
Yeah.
Lions.
True.
We can all agree with that. Fuck
Yes.
the Ravens.
it. All right, with that, guys, thank you so much for coming, and we are out. You have a good Saturday.
Mhm.